And then I told him, never hack her again, you anyway, so, hi everybody, welcome back to Dice Soup.
Filthy animal.
Brought to you by Once Upon a D20. Brought to you by Once Upon a D20 at Once Upon a D20's Patreon, patreon.com. Once Upon a D20. Oh. Real story for another day. When last we left off, gosh, we had a lot of roleplay last week. Oh my, it was exposition and discovery, figuring things out about ourselves. And then the very last thing, group getting out to the hideaway in the mountains north Grimgalir, where the remainders of the priory, the clasp, ran, and they're not sure exactly their casualty numbers between actual death or just desertion, but a fair number of them have not come back. But discouraged. They're planning their next move, possibly to Hupperduke, possibly another place. But
Hupperduke's not super safe.
It's not super safe. It had been discovered. So perhaps not.
And we told them that Hupperduke was not safe, right? That's
information that Eric brought them.
Right, okay. They know. Okay, as long as they know.
Yeah.
As long as they know.
Eric came home on a mission. Did it. But we're talking about finding ways to shore up the defenses of one Akira soul.
Yes.
To make sure that that shit that happened at the end of the fight in the Priory wouldn't happen again. Or at least would have a much lower likelihood of happening again.
Indeed, which requires some work.
It requires some work. It requires some input for, you know, some of these people that you're with even have certain accoutrement that could be used for that, except they're using it because they need that kind of protection too for different reasons.
And for some reason, we're not allowed to harvest the materials needed from the supplies at Fisher's.
Oh no!
Because
it was highly recommended.
There's a real risk.
It was highly recommended not to. It wasn't that it couldn't be done; it's that it shouldn't be done.
I know that's
because there's a very high risk of the soul of one of those sentient creatures becoming trapped inside of the ring or object. It doesn't have to be a ring.
Mm-hmm.
And that's
also
scary.
And also, we need to address the fact that Gif Yankee and Gif Zerai are just titles. You all are.
Is that something? Is that something that Akira has actually said out loud? Or
I was gonna say, that was stuff that we talked about in the downtime. Akira was the fact that you in fact had not brought that up yet.
I was going. Yes, right. That I had not. So I'm going to address that with Eridrin.
But yeah, so turning it back over to y'all having that. Hey, what if we just took some heads conversation? I give it back to you.
Well, we shouldn't take them, Eridrin, because we've learned that Gif Yankee and Gif Zerai are just titles. You're all of the same kin, all of the same blood.
Is this in front of the whole group?
Mm-hmm. Who's the representative?
Luca kind of jaw actually just kind of opens a bit, just He says nothing, though.
Yeah. You know I've told you the story of how the Githyanki and the Githzerai came to be two separate groups, and beyond that, I should say that as I hope me and Eric and Joan have been able to show you, is that blood isn't who you're born to, who shares that similar ancestry with you. Blood is who you choose to bring along with you. And they chose long ago to sever themselves from us and to actively ruin our plans to get back at the people who kept us as servants for so long. I don't choose them as blood.
Kira just kind of looks around at the rest of the group, who I'm sure have heard him say this, and Akira just kind of bows their head, not really sure how to respond to that. Well, understanding your fervor and feelings, just not really knowing how to respond to it.
Oh, Luca does.
Let's hear it then, Luca.
Luca will chime right in. Just, oh, so they're just a different faction then? So, like, you could convince them to switch sides?
No. No.
No. Why not?
No, it's not that simple.
Are you saying that you're the same entities? You just are on different sides of a conflict, right? Does that not change something? At least a little bit, like... Perhaps maybe there's a way to talk to them. I get it. You're telling me that it's going to be nigh impossible to convince them to change sides, but nigh impossible does not mean impossible, right?
Our people were aided and led in revolution against the Mind Flayers by Mother Gith. And those who continued to follow her became the children of Gith, or the followers of Gith, the Githyanki, because we wanted to follow her in taking the battle to the Mind Flayers who kept us. And the traitors of the same people who freed them from where they were being held are known as the Githzerai.
So you're telling me that the Githzerai are slaves to a creature that controls their minds? Is that what you're telling me?
No. We were all once held by the Mind Flayers as captives and as workers for them, and we all revolted to become free. And Mother Gith wanted to continue to bring the fight to the Mind Flayers, but the Githzerai didn't want that to happen.
You hear Eltahane, you hear him smile.
Oh.
Because there's a smile and a kind of an exhale of just Aradrin. Didn't realize that you still held on to the old religion that heavily. You still really believe all of the old stories.
The old stories is all I have left of my parents, of those who... our village, where we lived, our families, our group. That's all I have left to hold on to them for.
You know, with with all of this, Sarai are the ones, legendarily, all those old stories, all those old texts, they're the ones that he just holds up his hand and nice blade, psychic blade. They're the ones that are gifted with psionic abilities, such as ours.
That's big.
They're the ones that have all of this running through them, the stories.
They're also the ones who hunted you and hunted Eric for that very reason.
But that's the thing. Luca, what he said isn't terribly far from the truth. It's not that... Whatever happened to me and to Eric, so even to you with all of your kind of gestures towards... I'm assuming that the second you is still out.
Oh, of course.
Gestures towards the other you. All of these things. I don't know what you remember of our people. Home. These things are not normal. Our home not have people just walking around manifesting copies of themselves or throwing blades from their minds. We became something else as soon as we got taken, while we were being captive. You would condemn people who were taken. He starts reasoning a little bit because of what Akira said. They're coming after us because they have that same fervor. They truly believe that they're doing the right thing.
Or the fact that you have those abilities are why they're coming after you. Maybe that's why you were taken in the first place.
Perhaps.
But if we've already established that the two sides aren't physically different, that psionic powers tend to be one of the major differences, then perhaps you all switched sides and didn't know it. But that's just my conjecture. I admit that I am speaking of something that I know very little about, and I'm likely to offend someone, so I'm going to step away for a moment before I put my foot farther down my mouth.
Yeah,
I was gonna say, at the saying you likely switch sides, Eredrin definitely hand instinctively shot towards his something that sheathed on his side.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, if that's the case, Luca would have different words.
Okay.
Because if Eredrin reaches for something sheathed at his side, he would very plainly look directly at Eredrin and just say very clearly, just, don't you draw a blade at me. But everyone else is going to hear, I'll just step away then, because I'm going to cast Gift of Gab.
Wow.
Luca has never been anything but an ally. Eredrin has called him an honorary gift for the way that he fought with them. Luca is telling him, don't draw a blade on me. Just don't do that. We're friends. Just because you're upset with me, that you don't do that. and he's going to just nod and just kind of walk away a few steps and sit down off to the side where he can hear, but choose not to say anything else that might upset Eredrin out of respect for Eredrin.
No, I feel like the dick. Damn.
And actually, because Akira was very much paying attention, Akira, once Luca steps away, Akira is going to step in your eye line and just like give you that look like, really?
Let me go
Really?
burn my gift of gab real quick.
Really? Well, because I didn't hear your gift again in character.
No one can. It's the most busted spell in the game. You don't even get a save.
Yeah.
Like, you don't even get a save.
So
These acquisitions incorporated.
Yeah, even so, once all that transpires, Akira's still gonna get an eye line and just kind of give Eredrin that look like, really? Really? You're gonna pull your sword? Like, not saying it, but just looking at you like, really?
Eltahane steps to your shoulder, Akira. You are willing to burn on others because they believe differently than you?
Oh, he's saying that to Eredrin.
No, saying that to Eredrin, going shoulder to shoulder with you.
Because all he heard was, "I'm gonna step out."
Ro, I would.
That's right.
Ro,
that's
I would
right.
I was like, he heard I'm gonna step out, but also Eredrin made a grade A movement towards
Their sword. Yeah.
his sword.
Ro, I would like to apologize for casting a second level gaslight at your expense. I'm so sorry.
No. Fine.
A second level gaslight.
I
Wow.
can't gaslight at first level.
Wait, is that second level? I thought that was a third level.
If that's the case, then
it's
what's the
listed-
cast
it's
at
listed
ninth
under-
level?
I believe it was
If
listed
it's
under
listed
my
on-
second level spells.
If it's listed under second level, that's fine.
It's
That's whatever.
listed under second. I thought it was
Okay,
third too.
I forgot. Yeah, I thought it was third too. It's fine. It's fine.
Yeah,
Everything's
it's
good.
not though. Apparently it's second level.
I cast gaslighting.
Cast gas. This is a whole party of gaslighters.
I
Shit.
cast
Oh
gift
god.
of gaslight.
No, we're no better than the. No, we are better.
Yeah,
than
no,
the
like
Wizards
this
in
entire
any way.
party is a bunch of gaslighters. We got people that talk in your head. We got people who will say things to you in
I don't
other
know
words were
what
actually
you're
spoken
talking
everywhere
about.
else. We got somebody
Literally
who will
the most virtuous
in front of you.
the most virtuous among you is the guy who literally cuts people's heads off. Okay, like
And
it's
is
fine.
named the Slayer. The nickname
it is named
of
the
person who's the
Slayer.
most virtuous
He's a
is
paladin.
the Slayer.
He's
Akira
a,
has done zero sneaky thing.
No,
That's-
you.
that's-
There was some
Ask
accidental
Adkins about that.
accidental gaslighting. Yeah, ask Adkins about that later.
Oh, Atticus. Okay, well,
It was one time. Yeah, we all
had
know.
it coming, okay?
Yeah, I
He
also
earned that.
definitely don't want to start a fight with Eredrin right now because I'm not even at max hit points.
What are you talking about? When HP is max HP.
Oh, okay. I have 29
Kenzie,
lives
yeah,
then.
yeah. Kenzie, all praise to Kenzie. This party is gaslight gatekeep girl boss.
Yes, of course.
By the way, I didn't see it till after I got off of the stream on Friday, but I saw that Kenzie had put in the chat like the I am a lady of the evening for Monster of the Week t-shirt.
We were waiting for you to see it.
Indeed.
I was like, Kenzie, thank you so much.
Bring it back. Also, just to put it in our ideas before we jump, reacquire the rails. Merch idea. I cast gaslighting.
Mm-hmm.
We got.
For sure.
2023 is our merch year, baby. We're gonna do this.
We got to launch some merch.
Alternative option
Speaking
for
of,
our
Sorry for
martial
casting
classes
gift
is
of
roll for
gaslight.
gaslight.
Roll for gas.
Okay,
Roll a
yes.
gaslight check.
So
we
so with
can
that,
do merch later.
yeah. With that,
Real quick, if anyone's seen my message in the soup chat, would be helpful.
I'll look at it.
it requires me to actually see some things.
Oh, so for doing whenever you want to re-up your subscription via Amazon Prime on Twitch and all that kind of stuff, it's just an option. When you go to the subscribe screen, it'll be like a little toggle that says your Prime subscription or whatever. You just toggle it over, and then that'll just do your free one.
I felt like that was worth explaining on stream, actually. So
Yeah.
thank you.
Actually, yes,
Exactly.
that's a great thing for all of our viewers. By the way,
Yes.
if y'all want to subscribe on Twitch, we can do Twitch subscriptions, and especially if you want to use that free one you get from Amazon Prime.
Yep.
You have to re-up it every month, but it really helps, and I appreciate it. And yeah,
It's super fun.
it helps pay Teddy. That's
Yeah.
anyways.
Refund
And
them.
So-
if we get enough of them, hopefully the rest of us.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. If we now we have like 105 followers. That's freaking great.
Also, if we get enough subscriptions, we can let Teddy go outside for 1 hour per day. Right now, locked up in a cot in a room with a cot and all that kind of stuff. So like
No windows.
I mean, he needs some yard time. So let's give give some Teddy some yard time. Just to
Yeah,
We can buy him. We can buy him a better kennel.
Okay.
Hello.
he's got
All right,
one of those
we're-
hamster water bottles.
All right. If you can see more of this off the rails action
On Friday.
Fridays at Meet at the Inn, we're gonna pull it back. All right. So, my boys, Eltane shoulder to shoulder with Akira, looking towards Eredrin, seeing Eredrin reaching for a blade, and just you believe that hard, do you?
My hand's going to just drop to its side, and not to anyone else, but to Luca, just in Luca's head.
I
just-
am refusing
I
psionic
apologize.
messages.
Cool. I figured that was coming.
You reach out, and the unique feeling when you can't touch a mind.
Ooh, excuse me.
Probably to a point that you don't know what it feels like. You're just like, what is that? What?
And Luca's going to sit there and pretend to tune his magical instrument that is always in tune. So he turns a tuning peg and it wonks out of tune and then just ding, writes itself.
It's a really great way to do that finger style
Yeah.
twist tune. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I love that.
Playing the
I love that
ancient
for
song
you.
known as tuning.
Yeah.
Indeed.
Tuning.
Akira is going to once Eltahane steps up, and I also see Eredrin drop his hand to his side. Akira's going to start cursing in Goliath and stomping off to the side,
Gracious.
essentially saying, "I can't believe this. Did you see this bullshit?" But in giant.
Like nobody but Slayer understands you. It's just like,
And
Aaron knows it as well.
oh, I didn't know yours. Okay, never mind.
Eredrin knows it as well. So yeah, I'm cursing it. Akira is using all the words they never use in common via Goliath, Goliath and giant.
speaking of tuning things, this whole time Slayer's just kind of been raking a sharpening stone or something against his blood sword. Just paying attention, but not really. Doesn't really seem like he has much to input into the current conversation.
Yeah, same with Alec. I will say that I have not really displayed this very much, but pretty much anytime there's been downtime, we've been kind of just sitting there, and Alec hasn't really, because in this moment, Alec's like, I have really nothing to contribute to this conversation. I'm just kind of letting it happen. Alec will be off to the side, kind of practicing, and I kind of just playing on the pan flute a little bit, just doing some light tunes and anything like that. He has a pan flute that he uses every once in a while. I've had it in my inventory this whole time. I just never actually expressed it or used it. So so this entire time he's had that every once in a while.
Sorry,
You
Slayer's got a
have
horn.
actually mentioned it before.
Have I? Okay, I wasn't sure if I did.
Yeah, Slayer's got one of those big horns,
Well,
you know.
no, you said Slayer has a horn, and I was like, yeah, he does. Bring it back, Howard. Bring it back. All right. So, in back. Yeah.
Got a few.
Altair's just basically facing off with you, Adrian.
Just in kind of a silent, basically almost defeat. Like I said, my hand drops to my side. I'm just gonna sit back down in the chair that I was standing in front of and just...
Before you sit down, he walks forward. really quickly because he's quick on his feet, and offers his arms to you.
In like a hug kind of way, or
Yeah, like offers his arms like trying to not let you just retract away. To actually like he's not going all the way. He's 40% of the way.
oh yeah. Just not fully accepting the hug, but kind of just like patting his upper arm, just like, yeah.
Believed a lot of that when we were first taken. Took a lot for me reconcile when my gifts, and he doesn't actually ignite them this time, when my gifts began to manifest. And to reconcile it myself. I thought I was a monster. I thought I was the thing that we always feared would come for us in the night. That came for us in the night. I was one of them. That's why I kept it secret for as long as I could.
Just kind of like in Gith, so only people who know Gith can hear it. Just a single word, why, and then fully sitting down.
Crouch down next to you to honestly put his head below yours, and a look up towards
the
you.
Hat, gotta see the eyeballs.
Trying to see the eyeballs, but also just in a kind of displaying a bit of humility. And honestly, you weren't the only one that really was still holding on to our culture, to our stories, to the religion of it all.
If they're not true, then we got torn out of our home and our parents died for fucking nothing.
Did. Died because somebody was selfish. Died because somebody decided that our lives meant nothing.
And a tear starts to roll.
Now they're coming for Eric. They're coming for me. They're coming for Akira. And if I'm to be honest, they're probably coming for you. I've never seen anything like what you've done. That's not in our stories. You are wholly new. You are wholly different. Damn impressive. Stories, the religion, the belief, that none of that gave that to you. You figured it out. Or either you, yourself, or your brain, or whatever a soul really is. You have that gift.
Extreme stubbornness. I say in GIF.
Fucking right.
Nothing.
You don't owe who you are to stories. History is important. We were is important. You can't let that be who you are forever. History, our history is just that. It's history. It's done. It's happened.
Our history.
And the horrible things that happened to you and that happened to me.
Our history is what defines us, Eldon.
It defines where we came from. Does not define who we are or who we will be.
Not where you're from, it's where you're at.
You, and he full on like puts his finger into your chest. You find who you are going to be. You are right now. I heard Akira was there. Akira defined themselves. And he switches into GIF. They believe. They know who they are. You helped them find that. Which is back into common again. Don't let ghosts find you. Grabs your arm just gently, but that trying to be reassuring, trying to give you a point of contact.
That's strong shake.
He just goes quiet both in his mind and out loud and just holds there.
We can't, at the very least, remember and bring honor to those who we've lost. What the fuck are we doing here?
Tragedy seems more that we are not merely losing those that we love. Our enemies, honestly, should be people that we are loving too. Should be people that we love. They have been robbed from us already. Honestly, I think Luca might be right. If there are minds still left in them to change, maybe we can find them. The only way we can do that is if we don't have same religious blind zeal that makes us the same as them.
Wiping the tear that was rolling down Bairden's cheek, he's just going to kind of like, for now, I hear we need to find something to protect Akira.
Yes.
I think it's time we go look for that.
Please do. And Fisher, who has been, as soon as shit got serious, he stepped the fuck back.
Yeah.
He kind of chimes in. If you find more than a little bit of it, and I mean we could try and take some time to actually some for more than just Akira. We can find some. We can make one for you. We could. And he just kind of starts pointing down the line, the lot of you. You want him? That's that's your business, but
Probably the more resistance we have to mind control and being controlled, the better. For all of us.
yes, indeed. Well, if y'all are hunting the monsters, I might as well get to work. And he starts he starts looking around, and Blackbird and Brandor both just they've been shoulder to shoulder for a lot of this. They step up, and Brandor just says, "We could follow him back to the forge. We'll make sure that the fucks with him."
Thank you.
That way y'all can go hunting the monsters and know that the old man's safe. And he taps Fisher on the shoulder, and Fisher just looks up and like, "Hey, I'm not that old. Still got a good 2 centuries left in this."
Kira's gonna go and hug Fisher and tell him to be safe.
Oh, sweetie. Not sure what safety there is to have these days, but having people at your back seems to be the right way to do it. Not just, and he like tings toolbox on the chest.
You just make sure you're here when I get back, and that all my glass blowing stuff is still in one piece.
Can't make promises. If a tool gets used, it might break, but I'll do my very best.
You just be here. That's the important part.
Yeah, I can just make those tools again anyways. It's fine.
Exactly. You just be here.
And in a kind of
Oh, mate.
rougher dwarvish growl, just be safe for sure.
And responding in kind, yes. And you? He kind of goes over and again kind of just shaking the hands of Brandor and Blackbird just to like you hear him just kind of glad-handing, thinking like, all right, what are we gonna do to pack up and let's go and start heading out again. The Spirelings left there. Sophie and Calypso are just kind of glancing at each other, not speaking out loud. Thane still squatting next to you, Eredrin. Are you gonna be okay?
I'm back walking, I'll be fine.
Remember, believe in you. Don't believe in Mother Gith. I believe in you. Believe in Akira. From what I've seen, I believe in Alec and Umarin and Uka, and seen you all do things just because they were right. It's because somebody needed you there. It's a hell of a thing.
I'm going to kind of, with long, gangly, lanky arms, just kind of embrace Eltine, but in very much like a kind of hard to define emotion behind it.
Fair enough. Part of that, he in kind of standing up, trying to basically lift you with the hug. He actually reaches down towards his side and starts dislodging the rapier from his hip. And it and its scabbard out towards you. If you're gonna be dealing with monsters of the mind, so probably help. Well, I mean, I don't know if you've been adventuring and making magical things. I don't know if you can focus on this one too, but
Sure.
Whoever you give it to, or if you wield it, it's I'll let you know when danger's coming before it's coming. It might be right before it's coming. Sorry, slipping into Fisher there. I'll let you know when danger's coming before it's coming. Might be right before it's coming, but warn you, and honestly, it will warn those immediately around you. Noise can be a little bit jarring. It's a very strange buzz, beep, hiss kind of noise, but you'll know it when you hear it.
In gift, thank you.
Don't want anything to just surprise you. And until such time that you give it to somebody else or whatever, you can add a rapier of warning to your inventory, Eredrin.
Awesome.
I'm becoming the armory I wanted to be. Nice.
Yes.
The self-made armory. We love that.
I like it. I like it.
You can tell he didn't just fully disarm himself. He does have another rapier on his other hip, and you know he has at least 2 physical blades on him at all times.
Of course.
Then mind bullets.
Oh no, yeah, definitely.
Yeah, he's merely sacrificing magical convenience for the sake of making sure that you come back.
Kind of in this kind of exchange, just the token that we've gotten from the place with all from the priory. Gonna take it from where it was hanging around my neck, and I'm gonna say, just kind of like in like the kind of the drug dealer handshake, where like.
Yeah. No, I don't know anything about drug dealer handshakes. We don't do that. So yeah, palm nope. For legal reasons.
Yeah, palming it.
But yeah, you palm it over to him, and he's
in Minecraft. Drug dealers in Minecraft.
Drug dealers in Minecraft. Exactly. He takes it from you and finds somebody worth wearing it. We're going to plot where we're going. Oh, you all take your leave, I suppose.
We here at Day Soup would like to remind all our viewers that everything that we do on this show is, in fact, work of fiction, and any likelihood or relevance to real life material is purely coincidental.
Except for me, I'm actually a changeling. So
yes, Bearded is actually a changeling. You should see what it's like when he shaves.
It's amazing. Anyways.
I love
And
that,
Sean and I can both actually use
disclaimer.
telepathy.
The spiralings start to file out. Eltane kind of opening the door, and Calypso the snow leopard, and Sophie the definitely ordinary human trademark.
trademark, huh?
Trademark, I do want to say, as like letting go of the hug and all that with Eltahine, like with the handshake, kind of hanging on to the hand longer than it seems necessary to do so. But yeah, just like no.
Once they start to file out, Luca will kind of set his instrument off to the side, stand up, and hitch it up on his shoulder. And he's going to walk over to where Eredrin is sitting and just hold out a hand to him. Just holds out a hand to him.
I'll take it. Take the hand.
And Luca is going to pull Eredrin up, because Luca is quite strong. He'll pull Eredrin up to his feet.
And I'm extremely light for my height.
And just looks him directly in the eyes, and he's going to say, anyone who's trying to kill you is my enemy. Got it?
And
I know what side of this I'm on.
Kind of like a sign of reverence in Draconic. Got it.
All right. Just so you know where I stand. I stand with you.
And kind of holding his hand, pulling him in real close and saying, take this from me. And passing the dagger to his other hand that I had reached for earlier.
What's the dagger that you reached for?
Yes.
Luca's a little confused. It's the one that you were reaching for when they were talking?
Yeah, I was reaching for when you said what you said, yeah.
What kind of dagger is it? Is there something special about it? Like, out of character questions. I don't know
Just
a whole lot about it.
A silver dagger.
Are you sure you might need this?
Have you looked at what's strapped on my back, friend?
Luca would grin and just, oh yes.
As they're having this conversation, everyone is filing out. I'm going to mage hand in between the two, and then say, "Geez, get a room," and then keep going.
I'm making it canon. While they were like so close to each other, I started playing "My Heart Will Go On" the pamphlet, and I'm just watching and just like Celine Dioning the crap out of it right now. Like, just...
In response to that, when Akira tries to walk away, Luca would grin at Eredrin and just reach out and wrap one arm around Akira's shoulders and just, with you maybe, and walk with him.
And then I
fully taking advantage of this. Eredrin's going to resummon his echo in the little bit of space between the two of them, like a shoulder, like a hand around each of their shoulders, like, yeah.
As they walk away, I start playing Funky Cold Medina. So.
And on that note,
Luca will tuck that. Luca will tuck that dagger down into his belt. He's going to carry it and wear it proudly, because it is a a gift of some significance. It's not an insignificant item for Eredrin to have given him, so he's definitely going to carry it. So,
with that,
we have to fight brain things then.
Yes, we do.
All
And
right.
strapping the rapier to my own side.
With that, things are being plotted, planned, possibly even schemed. Not scheming.
Dice Soup, the only place you can get laughing 2 minutes after nearly making everyone, including the characters and the players of those characters, cry.
Not the only place. There's lots of really good actual plays out there.
There are, actually, yeah.
Not all of them are Once Upon a Witchlight, totally not affiliated with Once Upon a D20, where it's a laugh a minute. It's fine.
I actually love the name, and I would. If
they're amazing.
Cool,
Legends of Avantris, by the way, just to throw a plug out there for another stream. Legends of Avantris, they're amazing. Everything they do is amazing, and you should watch all of it. Anyways,
yeah, I think we should. I think we should just reach out to all of the Once Upons, and I think we should all work together.
We should make it. Okay,
Umbrella
okay,
time.
hold on, you guys. We can make a limited liability corporation, the Once Upon a Coalition.
Once Upon a Coalition.
Once Upon a Coalition. Oh my goodness.
I love that. All right, so brain bugs. Where do we find them?
Yes, in the mountains.
All right. Maybe we should get them to like mark that spot on a map for us so that we don't get lost.
Excellent idea. Out of character. Excellent idea.
Oh, it was said to you by.
Yeah, they did tell us.
They told you very specifically that they don't know. Like, they know where the last one was, like a year ago.
Right, we were going to talk to
There's more current
Atheists.
information to be had back in the city, and or like you can just send messages or what have you.
well, that's like one of my highest level spell slots. So, I think it might be easier for me to just find.
I'm definitely not trying to just make you burn resources, okay, Tim? Not everything is a conspiracy. It's all a conspiracy.
But if I can't find Atheists in a decent amount of time in the city, because Luca had already made the plan to go speak with Atheists,
And I was
and
going
the
with-
Slayer
it was-
didn't want to go.
Yeah, no, I wanted to go talk to Crown's Guard instead.
So, if I remember correctly, it was
That's what I was going with Slayer to talk to the Crown's God. I remember that now. Yep.
yeah. And I was going with Luca. I don't remember where Bearded was going. I think Bearded was going with.
Well, he can clarify when he gets back.
I'll
He's-
say right now he'll just be Schrodinger's Alec.
Oh, I love that.
Isn't he always
Isn't-
though?
isn't
Because
with-
he's-
No, it'd be no, in that case he's just Schrodinger's knock, which is
Yeah.
even better. We've done it.
yes.
I mean,
Done
but
it.
if we really break it
Another
down,
merch
though,
idea.
Isn't Alec always
Schrodinger's
kind of a
changeable.
Schrodinger though? Because Alec both
He's
exists. and doesn't
he's
exist.
Schrodinger's knock. He's
He's Schrodinger's changeling.
He's everything. So,
Except when it comes
that.
to bad guys, then it is a.
heading back towards the city. It sounds like loading back up on the cart. Fisher, ever thinking efficiently, is gonna hitch a ride. You'll get to ride with Blackbird and Beredor for an hour and a half.
Nice.
Head back home. But y'all start heading back. And talking about going and finding atheists. Your boy Doomarin's like, oh yeah, you go do that. See, and just like jumps off the cart on the way in. Who was going with him? most definitely.
Akira was going with Doomerin
Okay.
to talk to the town guard.
Yeah.
All right,
that was
and now
most definitely it.
the beard is
Now we
back.
got
Beardy, the question becomes: are you when the idea of while getting back into town, of going and talking to atheists, to get all the to get information. All of a sudden, Doomeren's like, "Yeah, y'all go do that. I'll catch up to you later." Hops off the cart. Akira hops off the cart as well. Are you hopping off the cart with them? Are you following with them? Or are you going a third direction? Because that's possible too.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just gonna go check in with the crowd's guard. So,
We're going to your favorite person, atheist.
Where would Alec be going in that equation?
I literally just popped back in, so I'm not 100% sure where we are.
Oh, sorry. Sorry. I thought you could hear me just a second ago. The question being posed is, Luca's talking about going and talking to atheists, getting information about where to find fucky brain things,
And maybe what they're actually called.
and maybe what they're actually called. And or something else that would be suitable. Your boy Doomerin, upon hearing that Atheist is the planned destination, is hopping off that train before things, because he has the wisdom to know that he does not have the willpower to ignore the undead in the back of that cart for much longer. So is removing himself from the equation in a great exercise of restraint.
Who is Spearmint currently following right now?
Spearmint is currently nursing the last of their hangover, curled up on Akira's shoulders.
So Luca will mention to Akira before the group split up heading back into the city. Hey Akira,
Yes.
if you get a moment while you're traveling, maybe see if you can talk with Spearmint. I believe Master Bex might know a thing or two about creatures out in the wild, and especially when it comes to spells and things like that. So they might be able to tell us the name of the creature that we're looking for.
I will give Spearman a little head scritch. I'll give him a little time to finish his hangover, and then I ask him to reach out.
Of course, whenever it's appropriate, of course.
Their eyes open, that little bleary eyed, and then like you're scritching, and so it's like what do you okay. and you feel that little telepathic vibe of that first what, and then okay, yeah, no, I'm here, yes. Yes.
All right.
Everything you want and more, yes.
We'll need to reach out to Bex in a little bit.
They just kind of nod their head into.
Get the name of these creatures with psychic abilities. What were we calling them again?
I think we were just calling them brain monsters, but there's something that can be used to make a ring of mind shielding. Bex might know the name more specifically from that.
A creature who maybe we could harvest who can use the ring of mind shielding. So I would just put that idea in Spearman's head.
They're just vibing with the pets.
Yeah, and see, I have a claw too, so I can really.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. You have several. Yeah.
Several.
The good scritches.
The good scritches, the pressure point scritches.
Yeah.
Sorry, making me feel some sort of loose. All right. But
I know someone else who likes scritches.
Just saying.
So, to be clear, I believe Luca and Eredrin are definitely going to talk to Necromancer dude. Doomer And
Thanks for
Kira-
bringing us back on the rails, Justice. The question is still, where is Alec going?
Yeah, Doomer and Kira
Sorry.
are going to talk to Crownsguard.
Okay.
So
Yeah, I don't really have any specific place I need to go or do anything, so I'll just go with if anyone is needing some extra hands or something like that, I'm more than willing to provide. So I don't know who that would be with.
Okay.
Actually, the question is, do you really want to go speak to Crownsguard?
so,
do you want
so
to talk
just
to
vibe.
Crownsguard?
Yeah.
Considering Upperduke?
Yeah, do you want to talk to the Crowns Guard? Or do you want to talk to the Necromancer?
He's a perfectly legitimate businessman. Sorry. moving on.
Yeah.
Yes, he was on next night.
I guess I'll go talk with you guys to the Crown's Guard. Just
Oh,
see what's
wow.
going on.
Yes. Okay.
All right.
Just making sure I have open the right character sheets for the right things. So, as part of the group is debarking, feeling definitely secure between Kira and Slayer, and Spearmint, the three of you debark. The cart continues headed down towards Fisher's shop, which is pretty close to that gate. Just because it's a kind of lots of adventuring gear. Yeah, it's a lots of adventuring gear kind of shop. You get a lot of stuff from a guy that knows how to fucking make everything.
The first rule of business: location, location, location.
Okay, you get it. So while y'all are walking up, you see the four of Toolbox, Fisher, Blackbird, and Brandor all debark and go and start to head in for clean up and work. And the cart rolls on. But first, guys, start approaching some of the Crown's Guard who... Okay. Y'all start approaching some of the Crown's Guard that are they're standing watching people go by. Three of them, the one in the front, looks more melee focused, as they are not currently holding their crossbow, rather slung off to the side and down. Their two compatriots just standing there, not loaded, but just ready to load their crossbows, because keeping those locked and loaded actually terrible for the string. All three of them kind of armored up in chainmail and standing, looking about, and the three of you start walking up, and they don't think anything of it. People come up and ask stuff all the time, and so the lead one just kind of puts his head back, because they are dwarves. And he pops his head up towards the one leading the charge, and what's going on?
Yeah, well, I mean, they call me the Slayer, cause I slay things.
Well, Slayer,
yeah.
I'm Captain Craghammer.
Oh, nice to meet you, Captain. And so, with that being what I do, I was wondering if perchance any of you might know of any like weird, fucky brain creatures in the mountains. Maybe where they tend to hang out.
You're out here looking for. Out here, you're out here just looking for stuff to slay, Mr. Slayer.
Yeah, mostly. Go to test myself.
That's
My friends here.
Hello, friends here. Well, we that's not entirely our purview. Though, to not be terribly dismissive, I will say that the just under the overhang of the city, just within the inner city, are there's a set of temples there, not the least of which the Moradin temple. But, one that's opened up recently. Well, I say temple. It is more of the in that area. Some of the guilds set up shop, and you'll find a number of adventuring guilds in there. One just popped up that is actually in the business of hunting very specific monsters, very niche kind of things. Howdy. So far, what you've missed is that the guards don't know exactly where brain-fucky things are, but they are describing someplace in the inner city, under the overhang of the mountain. That in kind of the temple district are also some of the adventuring guilds, and specifically, a new one has made its way to town in the last decade, and have been making a name for themselves. And they call themselves the Slayer's Take. They take contracts if you're just looking for fucky brain creatures very specifically, and all of that. They would take it upon themselves to go and find them and take care of them for you. On the flip side of that, they might know, and they might give you a contract to be able to go and stuff. It's really
Sounds like my kind of work.
fantastic.
Akira's gonna look up at Slayer and go, well, they already took your name. Might as well get a job from them, right?
Yeah, maybe.
The irony went way over my head.
Yeah,
It's
so most things do.
It's fine.
Oh well, fuck you too then.
And Slayer will just kind of like smile. He smiled after he said that, and then obviously chuckles with him. But
And he's like, "Fuck you too, then," and punches towards your gut because he's not putting in the effort to reach higher than your very rock hard dad bod abs.
right.
There's a little softness, but literally because that's peak physical condition, obviously.
No, it is. Yeah.
There's that little bit of softness, and then it hits the steel cables that are Slayer's muscles. And hey, all right.
Well,
Finger.
well, thank you for the information, good captain. And I believe we'll be on our way.
You've been very kind. Thank you.
Good luck to you. No worries. Hey, do I know you? You're from around here. You're from around here, aren't you?
Yeah. I've lived here my whole life.
No bother. Just I've seen you about. Unique, you are.
Thank you. You are unique too. And I'm just gonna trot behind Slayer.
Nailed it.
Yeah, just gonna trot behind Slayer after that.
Nailed it.
Those of you who are moving inward, just looking around for atheists, looking around, asking around, how to do this.
If I'm not mistaken, he did give us some way to find him, right?
the thing he had said was, do you know how to send messages over distance?
Yeah, I do.
And he in confirming that confirmed that he didn't need to give you a way to send to him.
That's true.
So I'm gonna start in kind of in the commercial district is where I'm kind of part.
I'm going to start by asking Fisher if he has a way to contact him, because Fisher has worked with him in the past and might know where he tends to set up shop or hang out.
Fisher loves a good sending stone.
Fisher does love a good sending stone. Right now, his ability to do so is entirely tied up in you. But it's fine. It's fine. There's no problem there. It's just is what it is. But there it goes. Sorry, pulling up things. Also verifying what is true about Fisher.
As opposed to what's untrue about Fisher?
I can make up shit about Fisher on the spot. I need to know if the shit I'm making up about him is actually true. Okay, cool.
He has 11 toes.
Has 11 toes, and his grandmother's name is Helga.
Both of which are canon.
Now it's true. Everything's true. Nothing is permitted, or is it the other way around? So, as y'all are dropping off Fisher, and you ask, that's a problem with him. He doesn't stay in any particular place for long. He's usually moving things, always going somewhere. That one, but usually he's the one that reaches out to me. To tell me he's in town, tell me or ask me if I've got anything for him, all those things. So him being about would be likely. I'm not sure exactly the nature of exactly what that means currently. So, if you need, you've reached out to me more than just the stone. You've reached out to me.
It takes significant resources to cast that spell. I was going to try to use it as a try to use it as the last option. So
the other option, of course, is just drive about.
He's still here. I'll take a look around for him.
His carts aren't exactly low profile, and the homes and all that. So,
we know.
But
we could go on foot or hire somebody to drive us.
Hire somebody to drive you? How do you do that?
No, he meant like a taxi or something, so that we're not going around in an hour carriage.
We could walk.
We could walk, yeah. Fuck it, let's just walk. We'll walk around and we'll see if we can find him. It's bound to be places that a man of his stature is likely to frequent.
No, I give you my cart, that y'all can have an easy walk about wherever you're walking, and you leave it. If you're going to leave it anywhere, you might as well leave it here. That's fine.
Let's take the cart then. At least we know that atheists will recognize our cart.
Yeah, fair point.
Oh,
so
no.
Maybe he'll reach out to us.
You all go get a healthy walk in. Also, I need to feed the horses. and Adkis is just, I already fed him. You told me he brought down sugar cubes. Does that actually work? And they start talking about the finer points of horse maintenance.
You know what? I think we better leave them to it. Let's just go on foot.
I agree.
Out of character, I think it would be good for Adkis to learn a little bit about taking care of the horses from Fisher, because the horses are Fisher's, and Fisher can teach him how to handle them better.
Indeed.
Okay. I guess I'm chopped-livered.
We'll all just
Yes, you are. You're chop liver today. Everything. No.
Okay.
You're beautiful and important, and we love you. Don't leave me.
Oh no!
Don't threaten Ro with a bad time. Shit. But come
Oh,
back.
really flexing.
I love you. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Ro. I'm sorry.
Rose is having a hard day.
just really just going at it, just like having to deal with like old traumas and all this
Sorry.
jazz
Active gaslight. And
Sorry, we're
that's
hitting you.
2.5k spice points. What is that?
There's so
Aaron
many.
has to say something nice to Knock.
while we're traveling with them,
Something nice about knock. It doesn't even have to be two knock technically.
Oh no, it does say two knock.
Two knock? Oh, okay. Then I guess I
not
gotta.
here, so you
Yeah,
can't.
it's fine. It's fine. Eventually. So
Slayer doesn't have to be there for you to redeem that.
that's fair.
No, but Knock has to be near Eredrin for that.
They are.
Yeah.
No,
Didn't
they
Knock?
wouldn't. No.
No,
Knock went with Slayer and Akira.
Yeah.
We can retcon that.
No, it's okay. Whatever. That was it's just going to be Luca and Ergen out on the prowl looking for.
Team punch
Be careful.
Team punch you in the face is on one side, and team punch you and cut you. I mean, sing you and cut you are on the other side.
I will just say, be careful if you
what's the
decide
old-
to redeem that, Justice, because I
What's
will
that?
be as flirty as possible.
What is that? That's hold me, thrill me, kiss me, kill me. That's the
Didn't
one.
have to.
I was thinking like masochism tango, like hold my
Mm,
hand
yeah.
in my heart. Ugh.
I didn't have to, bro. Looks like Teddy there beat me to it.
Edward.
Alec and Knock, you have the juiciest of asses available. Like full dumpy. Like needs like a CDL to drive that trunk around.
So, while that gets beamed out into the universe, that telepathic signal may echo off a few buildings before it reaches him. But so with y'all going fucking around and finding out, literally rather than figuratively, looking around, asking around, go ahead and we'll have Eredrin do the percepticles, and we'll have Luca do the technically, I guess it would be a charisma investigation check, I guess.
Please, can we swap that? Please, my perception is shit.
That's okay. My perception isn't great either, but my charisma is pretty great.
So charisma investigation, proficient if you're not fully proficient.
I actually am proficient in investigation.
Right. So go ahead and roll a proficient
Proficient charisma?
proficient charisma check, and Eredrin, go ahead and throw
Told y'all
your
we
eye.
needed to swap. I told
Cast
y'all.
thy eyes about. Yeah, that's fine. It's fine. Hey, that ups that average really much higher.
That's why I was like, oh yeah, let's do that, because I've got a +7 to this.
Oh,
I was wanting to swap because I have a +0 and I have a +3 on investigation.
it's fine.
Oh,
So, excuse me very much. I belch and then I drink more bubble water. What's wrong with me, masochist Tango? So
it's called
as-
the Tango Caffeine.
the Tango Cafe.
Tango caffeine.
So,
It's a dark fizzy merry-go-round.
Yes.
Hashtag yet another merch idea.
Nailed it.
As y'all make your way into the commercial district further, and Slayer, Akira, and Nock kind of y'all are just kind of like leapfrogging each other, pulling over. They pull over, and then you pull over, and then they pull ahead, and y'all start heading in. They start heading in deeper into town. Starting to look around. You find you looking around. You don't see really any sign of them, which is somewhat weird, because he said he wasn't going to be in town for very long, but like you brought him here yesterday. Feels like forever. But in asking around, either atheist by name, and then but like 2 carts, and one of them had a big brown fearbulg on it, and big brown bugbear. Like have you seen things? There's a few people that have no idea who you're talking about, or I didn't notice. And then you actually find somebody who actually recognizes it, again, not by name, but by the fact that they have health potions to sell. They just got in part of a shipment, and they're like, oh, was that his name? Oh well, he.
I only give the first name, though. I'm not going to give the rest of his name, even though I have his full name.
Indeed. They dropped off some stuff to me yesterday. If you I think they were making some deliveries down yonder, and beginning to follow that trail of people who got stuff in. Eventually, it actually takes you to the Crownsguard barracks, the main one, where there's kind of this. Instead of a wall around it, it's more like you get to inside again the inner part of the city, underneath the overhang of the mountain, and it's less about having a wall around your place as having distance. Distance is a luxury when on the inside of the mountain. So rather than a wall, it's just a giant courtyard area out front of this barracks, where they're able to do combat maneuvers and stuff. But basically, like, you see the little arrow slit like towers built into the side of the mountain, into the wall kind of above the entryway into the barracks proper. And you realize that, like, they basically made themselves a kill box in case people try to storm the barracks. It's a defensive measure. And
this is so not where I intended to end up.
I'm gonna lean over to Luca and I'm gonna say, if you haven't, you might want to hide that little thing.
Oh, it's invisible already. Oh yeah. Luca would confirm for you that it's invisible.
And
just
with
nod.
that, with the confidence of a god, I'm just gonna start walking through the kill box. Like,
Also, Eredrin,
I don't care if I need to roll a charisma check. Yeah.
if Eredrin reaches out to say that telepathically, he will realize that he is not blocked from telepathic communication with Luca.
No, I was just saying it in
Okay.
Draconic. Just saying
Okay.
it in Draconic to you. Just.
I think Luca might actually mention it. Just your telepathy will work again. I'm sorry about that earlier.
I apologize. I was in the wrong there, but
No, you
Anyway.
were standing up for what you believe in, and with good reason.
anyway,
And I
shall
respect
we-
that. Yeah, let's go.
Yes.
I don't
let's-
want to be
let's-
here, just to be clear, but let's go.
Let's walk through this kill box. Yes. Are there anyone doing like combat?
I'll say specifically, yeah. Well, I describe it that way to say that they have a courtyard where like tactically you recognize it's a kill box, but like reasonably, it's a courtyard. And it's there for like they're doing a lot of their training of new recruits and even just lower rookie kind of folk out in this courtyard area, and beyond that you see the two arcing wagons, covered wagons, and popping out of the back of one, you see Breaker holding a case and just hopping down, and like he's doing some work.
A quick aside, real quick. Eredrin, your clothes, the way that you're dressed, is it sort of typical for people who work with Fisher to dress the way that you do? I guess is your clothing iconic in that way?
No, my clothing is iconic as in no matter where I go, I will stand out. So yeah, it's very much like a long brown trench coat style thing with like a blue, like almost like wrapping of strands of fabric for like the shirt.
Okay,
and then the massive fucking hat.
Then Luca is, as we're walking, it's going to just happen, and Luca hasn't really advertised this much to the party, but as he's walking, his clothes will change to look closer to like what Fisher wears, along the fashions and styles that Fisher usually wears, since we are making an inquiry that relates to Fisher, and we can actually use him in this because, we're working on an item that that Fisher's making, and so I'm trying to look like someone who is affiliated with Fisher's shop, and it will just be
some neat trick, that sense of yours.
And so as we're walking, Eredrin, when you look over, Luca's clothes would just have changed.
Just,
and
it does have
knock some of these.
It has a little bit of that look to it of like worker worn, kind of like a blacksmith that has cleaned up most of their clothing, kind of look to it, leather vest and nice thick enough wool not to catch fire kind of stuff.
Yeah. In response,
God knows Luca has the physique to pull it off.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
In response to that, I'm going to say, "Oh, those looks cute on you." Which reminds me, when are you going to magic my bow?
As soon as we stop fighting for our lives, I presume.
So never. Okay, cool. And I'm just going to keep walking.
As soon as possible, friend. As soon as possible.
Yeah, fine.
We could make time for it today, actually.
We could.
We should. Just as we're walking up.
As y'all walk up, you see another person jump out of one of the carts, and they stumble a little bit, tilting a bit, but in all clothing, they look like one of the creatures that you saw in the back there, kind of a robe similar to Atheus's, but not quite as nice. But they're these arms that you can see. All of a sudden, they look alive. Like almost too perfect of a human kind of face, and and then another, and they all look related, but not exactly the same. And they too are kind of helping offload things and take care of things, kind of helping Breaker bring stuff in.
Can I try to roll to see if this is just kind of illusory and these are the same?
Sure. In that case, to see through that, he says, certainly not confirming your suspicions.
I mean, I'm not going to do anything with the information. I just want to know out of just abject curiosity.
Well, you would know to try and focus in on it.
Yeah.
Go ahead and make an investigation check.
Oh yes, something I have more than a +0 to.
Yeah. Love to see it.
Oh, that's nice. That's nice.
Love to see it. So yeah, as you stare at like the last one as they're coming out, you look really closely, and just start staring, and they look up and look towards you and smile. As they smile, your eyes kind of magic eye through the illusion, and you see the undead face underneath it. It's genuinely smiling. It just like you looking at them, they recognize you. You were traveling with them for a few days, and you were among the company that saw who they really were earlier. And they smile and give a little bit of a wave, and then grab the box and kind of start trotting after the others, and you hear them, and their voices don't sound quite as raspy as they seem to be when you heard them before. Baker, those people, the ones from the road. And Breaker puts down his box and turns around, sees a lot of you, or sees the both of you.
Of course.
Sees the both of you and starts walking up, kind of brushes off his arms for a second, fluffs up the fur a bit after carrying some heavy stuff with it, and hello there.
Hello yourself.
It's good to see you both alive and well. What's going on?
You as well, Breaker. All of you alive and well, and I want to make the dripping sarcasm on alive.
Well, they are mostly alive and mostly well.
Luca grins because that was well put. He appreciated that. just the grin and just. We would like to ask a question of your boss, unless you might have the answer. It's we're hoping it's a simple question. We're just looking to find the location of a type of monster.
Oh, and I was right the first time. Is actually Furbolg, is not Bugbear. Sorry, just figured I'd mention that out loud because I like consistency. That's why I miss D&D Beyond if we move away from it. /web.
Your boss is sort of a purveyor of interesting things, and we thought you might actually be able to point us in the right direction on something.
As y'all are talking, the other three kind of line up behind Breaker, almost like ducklings, like they're just waiting for him to keep going. He turns over. There we go. There they are. Lewis, Hubert, and Latello, please keep working. And they hearing his issued command, if you will, kind of give a little bit of a yes sir, and start walking over and doing the things, and they really are good boys, and they're just figuring themselves out. Yeah, so Atheus is off procuring a bit more. We're arguing over prices before because the order was made while the war was going on, so they were willing to pay a certain amount. Now they are trying to pay a lesser amount because we don't want to pay that much. So
He needs. We could probably be of assistance in the haggling.
I think it's okay. Think
In
he's
his head, I'm gonna say we can be quite persuasive.
leave you? That's weird. That's a strange feeling. Wow. Do that again.
Oh my god. Okay.
Sorcerer Supreme
like
Pizza.
that,
Could I have the name of the college that Luca attended on the Menagerie Coast? It has not come up yet.
It has not come up yet. So down on the Menagerie Coast, the school. Let's see here. Can find that out very quickly.
Normally, I would just ask that in text aside, but it's something that Luca might use if necessary, because being trained in rhetoric at a college on the Menagerie Coast that's accolades that could come in handy.
Indeed. So, in that case, it would be let's copy and put over here and
Zing.
Zynga. There we go.
Okay.
So we take fantasy name generators and we mix and match as we see fit from multiple. Drink water.
A couple letters.
Thank you. So,
That's Coca-Cola, not water.
The only thing sitting
Okay,
next to are alcohol and Coke. That's the lesser of two evils.
Fair enough.
hydration. Coca-Cola is still hydration, even though it's also ingesting chemicals. Nailed it.
Yay!
So,
The tango caffeine.
so it is Clearmoth Institute of Creativity.
Clear moth.
Moth, yes, I have now put that into the chat. Clearmoth Institute of Creativity.
As a response to Breaker's kind of, can you do that again? Eredrin is definitely going to, oh, you like that, don't you? In his head.
Oh dear.
I don't know that I've ever felt that before. That is very strange. I kind of like that. You are correct. But you asked me a question. And he just kind of brushes some of the hair out of his face, and kind of tightens it into the like, he has this kind of like this like leather headband strapped onto his head that has several gems going around it, but like, you know, it's normally keeping the hair out of his face, but whether by actual need or just nervous maneuver, he kind of brushes some of it out of his face. And you were wondering about the thing. So I mean, it depends on what you're looking for. I try and keep aware of the wild things that are out on the road. I'm not very good with magic. I do have some abilities, and I can, if we're out and about, there's not really any animals in here, but if we can find an animal, I can talk to them. I can ask them. I can ask them if they know things.
Well,
Oh, go ahead.
You said you were staying aware. They were described as kind of brains with legs. Are you aware of anything of that kind of nature?
Oh, as a matter of fact, you said brains with legs. Brains with legs. You talking about intellect devourers?
Oh, that's what they're called. I told you.
Oh yeah.
Called.
Oh yeah.
Dangerous name.
Out of character, I knew that. I just didn't.
Yeah, yeah.
No, yeah.
Well, I mean, we knew.
And he has a moment and just kind of smiles. That's why Atheist gave me this, and he points towards the headband on his head. I got hit by one of those once, and I became asleep.
And I became asleep.
And Atheist did not like that, and luckily he was able to get me out of the sleep. But ever since then, he gave me this, and it keeps my brain sharp.
Oh,
It's good to
man.
hear.
In the words of Kai Tim, he's so precious.
He is. He's just a good boy.
It helps me remember a lot of things. It used to be really hard for me to remember things. Now I remember a lot of things. It's very nice.
Oh, he's
That's
so,
lovely.
Quiet.
so precious.
But about those, do you know of any that may be near here at all? About those intellect devourers?
I haven't heard any stories since we've been here, but we've been here only a day. And we stayed with the cart last night because we still had goods. But tonight I think we're staying in an inn before we pick up another load of things tomorrow. So I could ask around people at the inn tonight, see if anybody knows there.
That would be appreciated, actually.
Yeah, we've got some work that we can do in town tonight, right?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, so that would be fine.
Or Atheist could do
tomorrow?
some really tricky things with magic. He might be able to try and find some for you.
But we're trying to make it a simple ask. We don't want to impose on him too much.
Yeah, we don't want to. Yeah.
I mean, that's up to you. Like I said, he can do some really tricky things with magic. You know, Donatello and Hubert and Lewis, some tricky things. But anyways,
I know those.
but yeah, well,
Nice.
yeah, that's where I hear most of the stories. When I got hit by one of those, we were down close to Felderwin, dropping off some stuff. We were going between Felderwin and Talonstadt. It's a city very high in the mountains. A lot of very beautiful winged people that live there. They have bird faces like them.
Oh.
They eat very well.
Sounds interesting.
Yeah, they live kind of high in the mountains because bird people, and yeah, while we were traveling up to Talonstadt, some of those things popped out of the rocks and tried to eat my brain. I was really glad the boys were with us. They can be very handy in a fight if it comes down to it.
Of course.
Well, do you by any chance know anything more about them? Like, do you know how they work?
I know when it ran at me, then it doesn't have any eyes, but I felt it look at me. You know, when it looked at me, and it got really close. Like, I mean, not quite close enough for me to punch, but like closer enough for me to like to throw a little bit of what's his thing. He has so many spells. Not that many, but close enough for me to throw fire at, but not quite close enough for me to punch. it just looked at me, and I felt it look at me, and I looked at it, and it looked at me, and then I went to sleep. It really hurt when it hit my brain, and then I went to sleep because it hurt so bad. Yeah, so that's what I know.
All right. If I were to show you a map, would you by any chance be able to point out where you saw them on the map?
Oh yeah, and you pull out your map of the Empire, or your map of Wildmount, because you know it is what it is. And you're well known, and he starts staring at it for a moment, and pointing out the dot that is Felderwin, bam, down on this map, this map here, southern eastern part. He points out Felderwin is like, we were there at Felderwin with all the short people that live there. I don't mean short like you. I mean short like. He looks around and he points towards a halfling out in the yard fighting. He's short like that one. But anyways, we went from there and we were going along the ridge over here, and he points towards those mountains, the mountains to the right, and Talonstad's right up in that area.
All right.
It's somewhere between there. I wasn't totally paying exact attention to where we were, but it was along the foothills there.
That's very helpful. Thank you very much.
It is.
Oh, no worries.
Phenomenally helpful.
I would. I think it would still be. I think it would still be beneficial for us to, if he wouldn't mind, just to take a moment to speak with Atheist in the morning, perhaps over breakfast. Do you think that would be acceptable?
I don't know how long his negotiation's going to be, but usually he's very good at those. So it shouldn't be terribly long if you want to wait. Maybe you could help us finish offloading.
Out of character, I'm actually kind of okay with doing that because Fisher has a good rapport with this guy, and he's given us a lot of useful information, and we have taken some of his time that he would have spent working. So I do feel okay with helping him, and the stuff that they're offloading is going to the town guard. So there's no way that would probably look bad for us. So
yeah.
So yeah, sure. I don't mind helping. Arjun, is that fine with you?
That's perfectly fine with me, and I'm going to summon my Echo at this point to start help with unloading.
Yeah, well, Luca and Arjun will help unload.
Oh, Erdrin too. Erdrin
Yeah, Luca-
wants to go kind of watch how they're fighting.
Ooh,
like watch some.
I'm cool with that. I'm totally cool with that.
Nice. So I mean, it's like Hermione using the time turner to take two classes at the same time. Yeah. So like, it is what it is, right?
How could Luca complain? If I break it down mathematically, Eredrin is contributing the same amount of labor Luca is.
He's contributing 100% the same labor. And yeah, you basically like you kind of have to walk with your Echo a little bit just to like stay close enough for it to maintain. You start watching. So while y'all are doing that,
imagining Eredrin sitting on top of the carriage.
So while y'all are doing that,
completely something I would do.
Y'all are doing that. Moving into the temple district where both temples to gods and temples to adventure reside. Led by his Slayerness himself, Slayer and the monks go moving in on a.
That's a T-shirt.
That's a fucking t-shirt, baby.
That's a t-shirt. Slayer and the Monks. That's a t-shirt.
Hashtag
I need to
merch.
start writing these down.
The year of the merch, baby.
Slayer
Let's
and
go.
the
Oh, wait, it's Slayer and the Monks, but we have Josie and the Pussycat style, like where we all wearing like the ears and all that kind of stuff.
Smell pussycat.
Don't threaten the cure with a good time.
Yeah, this.
He's got the speedy boots and the lightning moves. You know I'll start on Daisu. Oh, oh.
Slayer and the Monks.
I can't. I have. Bring it back. All right. So, Slayer and the Monks moving up. Moving up on a. Moving up on a building that. Make sure. There we go. There we are. Moving up on a building that I'm going to have Alec. You know what? It is less about identifying what it is, because that honestly you would totally catch. But it's whether you notice it, because it is subtle. So either perception or insight, your choice.
Okay. I have insight, but like I don't have the advantage would not apply here, correct?
No, this isn't somebody lying to you. This is this is
that's what I thought.
noticing something very specific.
So it was insight or what?
Insight or perception, your choice.
I guess they're both about the same, so I'll just, yeah. So I'll do an insight.
Huh?
Give me a second. No. Normal roll.
Ice bouncing all over the screen.
Yeah, it's hey, 19.
Yeah, no, it's real good. So it is subtle. And from what you know of Ioun, because you know a little bit about Ioun, she does not have proper temples. It's things like libraries that are dedicated to the name of Ioun. Even then, like, they're not super plentiful because honestly, concentrating worship in one place to her always seems to have, over the course of history, always seems to have a little bit of unintended consequences, retaliations to knowledge and things. Her worship isn't banned by any means in the Empire. She's actually very welcome, and the Cobalt Soul is known for being a place of Ioun. What is not normally associated with Ioun is a place that is a place of violence. At least overt violence. You know where you learned. This place that you're walking up to, it's the symbol on the outside. That basically in both the common and the dwarvish, because you're in a very dwarvish town, there's Slayer's icon Hake in the two languages, and the central icon is this cross, this kind of T. Almost looks like it was just carved in, and there's a little bit of a curve to it, and has the in the cross, the top and the bottom have just small hashes across. On the sides, they have these crescents, aiming towards each other, about like that. And around it, It looks stylized so that it's very subtle. That T cross, multiple crosses symbol seems to be the iris of this eye that is framing it. You have that moment where you're like, holy shit, symbol of Ioun.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
But
it's probably been a long time since I've actually seen something like this. It's been, I mean, I've been on the run. I've been on my own for a while, but like I don't think I really come across this very much. So when I see that, I kind of just take a moment to observe it and just go, well, like I just kind of like stare at it for a minute of like, it's been a while, like and like becoming to realize that I haven't seen this in a hot minute.
And I'll go ahead and just drop it on the screen here for everybody else to be able to see.
Curious at home.
Wait, that dropped it on the GM layer. I don't have the eye around. I don't have the eye around it, but I do have the. Oh no, that just took me to the object layer. It to the object layer. There we go. All right. So this symbol right here at the center of an eye.
Mm-hmm.
But the rest of you notice very much the Slayer's Take in 2 languages up on the side of this building. Several steps up. A lot of the architecture here in the inner city, especially in the Temple District, is that of this kind of almost Greco-Roman pillars, stonework, very proper, very beautiful, very well upkept. The area above the entrance here, the Slayer's Take. On the inside, you see groups not terribly dissimilar to your own people, groups of adventuring folk. Some of them look like they are longtime friends, maybe even more recent friends, but still having camaraderie. Some of them look like somebody is pointing around and kind of like, all right, you're interested in this, and you are, and I know what you can do, and almost like they're directing the group, or some of the group, kind of putting some people together. That person, there we. Oop, I found you. Bring yourself up. Please finish bringing yourself up.
Cooperate.
Cooperation! There you are. All right. This person kind of it looks like gray. It's this gray-haired elf, kind of a darker tint to their skin. Their hair, though it's gray as if aged, it doesn't look brittle. It doesn't look old. It in fact looks pretty young and spry. This almost Fabio kind of hair coming off of their head, pulled back in a very reasonable ponytail, but it keeps going down. And he's just kind of like, you and you. All right, go ahead. We have another contract, they're kind of rattling off some descriptors, and that would best be served by. Then seeing you all coming in, he glances up kind of above the group in front of him, and just kind of notes the three not scrawny looking people walking in the front door. And it takes another about 2 minutes to finish what he's doing. And as he's basically assigning people to these contracts, he calls them up, and each of them look like they reach out, touch the paper that he has, and a magical scroll is across of presumably their name on at the bottom of this paper, and then each one of them that commits themselves to doing this contract does this, and then he pulls it up, hands it off to one of them, and they go to plan and equip themselves and what have you, go in and look like they're getting to it. After he finishes this kind of strategizing session with several of these pages, finishes off the stack, says, "That's all I got for today. We'll get some more tomorrow. Thanks a lot." And a couple of people look a little bit dejected. A couple of people look a little like they're like, "Okay, I didn't get picked today. Like, we're fine to go." And as others start dispersing, he steps down off of this, basically the stone block at the bottom of a pillar where he was standing, and he just hops down pretty definitely and just starts walking y'all's direction, putting on just a absolutely charming smile, and looks towards you. "Slayer's take, Caspian. It's y'all's deal."
Right. Well, it's funny that this place is called the Slayer's Take, because I actually go by the Slayer.
What can we call you that's not that? Because that's gonna confuse a lot of people around here if I just start shouting out. If I start shouting out the Slayer, and a couple of people like look up.
Well, I suppose
no.
my friends call me Doomerin. So I suppose
Marin, Caspian, and like he's having to look up to you as most people do, and but like does not seem intimidated by you at all. Seems like really genuinely happy to see you in this place.
Right. Word. So I'll just sort of I see you like reaching out a hand to like shake.
Reaching out.
He'll like clasp his like forearm instead of like grabbing his hand directly, and kind of like do a shake that way.
Nice. Very, very strong that.
Yeah.
And he seems like he should not have the strength of grip that his little wiry arm has.
So good grip you got yourself there. I was just kind of curious. This seems like the right place, but I was wondering if you might know. We're sort of looking for things to slay. A particular sort of thing is what my other friends were talking about. These are just a couple of them. But we're looking for like these weird, like fucky brain creatures, and I was told that you lot might have that sort of information.
Well, that's interesting. Because we know a little bit about a little bit here, and in fact, like, know a lot about a little bit here, and the little bit that we know is where things are. Find things.
Yes, well heard.
Then we've come to the right place.
Problem there is we find things under contract. We find things because people pay for it.
Yeah, well, I mean, we're looking to do the finding and the killing, so to speak. So really, just the knowing where is really what we're looking for. And then, of course, nothing's free. So I mean, we could obviously pay you for the information of a location, but
Ooh, see, yeah, I knew you spoke our language. So yeah, I think maybe we can do business. Not don't need whatever, man. Okay, and he just kind of shrugs it for a second, then starts away. Oh, I don't mean to be rude, and he turns towards Knock first, and Aspian.
You can call me Alec, and he'll shake his hand.
Alec, pleasure to meet you. You.
Yes.
I'm Caspian.
My name is Akira. It's a pleasure to meet you.
It is wonderful to meet you. Come on back to my office. We don't do negotiations in the middle of the. Anyways, and he turns around and leading you all in from this kind of open, pillared circle here in the entryway. There's several doors along the outside of the circle. One of them is just an open archway that leads deeper into this place. You can tell people are coming back and forth from there freely. Some of them look like they're going back at the end of a long adventure, and they're talking about like it's going to be great to go and sleep on at least a cot, instead of the ground, and all this. And he leads you over to one of the doors and opens it up. And this kind of long office, long for an office at very least, long room, a fairly ornate desk on the far end, big armchair there, and then it has a series of these almost postmodern kind of seats that are just a stool, but enough of a cushion for basically everyone but Slayer in this company to actually feel enough to actually feel it. It'll feel like barely a touch of softness before you hit it if you sit down. But there's like 6 of them just kind of set up in this semicircle in front of the desk.
He's more afraid he's probably gonna break the chair so he doesn't sit down.
As we're getting acquainted and all that kind of stuff, I just kind of casually just go, "So, friend, saw the as we were riding in, there's a symbol. I just want to know, is that some form of like family crest or something like that, or is that? I just want to make sure that if it's anything that needs to be sacred, I don't overstep any bounds or anything like that."
Oh, the the symbol of the Slayer's take. And he kind of pulls up his sleeve and then kind of stresses it a little bit to show kind of the back shoulder blade of his left shoulder. And you see peeking through a little bit of like the side of the symbol it is the central part, not the eye part. Just the line, just the central line work. That's the symbol of the Slayer's take. We if you end up trying to become full-fledged members, that ends up being a part of the deal. And you can tell that it's not etched in. It's almost it looks branded, but very cleanly, very neatly. Not just some sloppy like stamp work. Something else is involved, it seems, but it does look branded. And he just yeah, that's part of the initiation once you're inducted. But part of that is how we do our contracts. Our contracts are actually magical in nature, where basically someone who signs up one of our contracts, if at least one person in the group isn't somebody who fulfills the contract, and they try to outsource their work to somebody else, the contract knows, and it won't actually check off the points, the bits and baubles, the bits of it, because we don't just hunt monsters to hunt monsters at the Slayer's Take. We hunt monsters because people want things. Monsters. We hunt everything. We hunt everything from displacer beasts all the way up to dragons.
Wow, it's impressive.
And I don't know if we've definitely never established this at any point. So this is 100% up to you. I mean, well, you know what? I guess it doesn't really matter.
Is Bearded asking Jeremy a question above table?
Well, yeah, it was gonna be above table, but quite frankly, it doesn't really matter, because what I was gonna say is, we never established this before, but does Nock have a tattoo of Ioun? But it doesn't really matter because I'm a changeling, so I can just.
It does matter whether or not it's permanent.
Oh yeah, for sure.
But if you have one, you could just let it drop and manifest it. If you don't have one, you could take an action and manifest it.
Yes, exactly. So what I was planning on doing was, I'm just kind of fishing this information out of him. And did you say that the one that he flashed me on his shoulder was like not complete? It was like not full.
Yeah, it didn't have the.
Well, it like you saw the eye symbology on the crest outside. Thing on him does not have the eye symbology to it. It just has that central cross structure.
Gotcha. So, what I'll do is just kind of like say, well, that's mighty interesting, and then I'll go ahead and take my robe and cloak, and I'll kind of unfurl it a little bit to show my left shoulder, like the exact same spot, and I will show a full symbol of Ioun tattoo on my shoulder. Kind of like just present that to him.
And as you pull back your sleeve and show him that.
Oh yeah, I've got eyes on my shoulders too. Yeah.
It's not.
Wait, what?
Yeah. And I'm just kind of like, Slayer's kind of like mostly bare chested, so like he like just kind of like turns around and he's got like wolf eyes tattooed.
Oh, that's right. That's right. We did this.
Got eyes in the back of your head, huh?
Yeah, so it's to ward off spirits.
True, it's true.
Is just
Okay.
gonna chuckle at all this tattoo showing.
Yeah,
They're just gonna chuckle at the whole ordeal.
Slayer's just gonna like, showed off tattoos and stuff.
We got that ink done back in Vegas.
Well, and he admires the stuff that Slayer shows off, but then looks back towards Alec, and that's curious. That one. That you'd feel it. Do you know? You know about the take? Looking at Alec.
Yeah. Full on bluff at this point of just saying like of just going full in, just saying like, yeah, I was just kind of curious as to what information you were. I like to kind of test the waters and see what information somebody comes up with. I don't like being messed with. I don't being lied to, and so I appreciate your being forthcoming.
Go ahead and throw down a deception check.
Awesome.
For this.
For sure. Deception. That's going to be a 14, not as much as I wanted, but.
Sylvie. He takes a second and he squints at you and you don't know a fucking thing about us, do you?
And he'll kind of like at this point, I'm not even trying to fight it. Just go like, no, but
no. It's totally fine. But you know her.
Me and her, quite acquainted.
That is something else entirely. So he kind of looks back and forth between the others. You trust them too?
He looks back at my two compatriots here.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I'll just kind of go like, these two are some of the people I trust with most everything.
And as you look over, Akira is definitely playing Oopsie Baby with Spearmint.
And she's loving it. She finally starting to really come out of it here in the afternoon time of the day. Yes.
But yeah, as far as these two go, there's not a whole hell of a lot I don't trust them with. They've actually both had a significant stance in saving my skin every once in a while.
That will happen. The more you travel with people, I suppose. But business. If Vayun brought you here, then I suppose it wouldn't be right of me not cede my will to hers. So, you need information? Have information.
Be much obliged.
If you're looking for, what was it again?
These sort of weird brain things. He said they were like this big, maybe, and like brain creatures that just sort of walk around.
If you're looking for an intellect devourer, those.
Yep, that's the thing.
Why would you be looking for one of those? Nobody just looks for those. Looking for something.
Parts, mostly, I think. Brain parts.
What are you looking to do with them?
There are
I don't know if
powers.
Slayer actually knows.
Akira is just
Fair.
gonna pipe up, make a ring of mind shielding.
Yep.
That's an important distinction. Is hunting a fucky brain creature.
And he'll just kind of chime. Like Alec will just kind of chime up and just go like, there are certain powers that be that have, let's just say, that have been put in my path. these powers may not have the best interest of most anybody in mind. So
that's fair. No, I don't need to know anything beyond the what it's being used for.
fair enough.
We'd like to make sure that the stuff that we do is on the up and up, because
Oh yeah,
Understandable.
nothing shady here. No.
if people are trying to use that stuff and do something evil with it, it'd be within my purview to try and stop it immediately. But
Alec was
same.
full on. Alec was full on suspicious of this guy whenever because we come in and we see the eye, it's the symbol of IU and all this kind of stuff. I'm just like, I don't know if this kind of seems shady. And more as we talk, I'm just like Alec is. I think this guy's all right, actually.
yeah, and when he says stop you immediately, he looks over to the side of his desk, like he's wearing like a cape, like a kind of short mantle over the top of his actual of his cloak underneath. Has these very nice gloves that he's wearing, a ring, a necklace, like he's decked out a little bit. He's not wearing any armor to speak of. Then when he says that he would stop you, he looks over and there's this bandolier of just a bunch of little throwing knives and a couple of daggers at the like lower part of it, the kind of weigh it down side of it. And then he just looks over and then just looks back. But yeah, so as long as people aren't trying to do fucky shit with brains, like it's fine. But
we wouldn't do anything crazy like that, like necromancy or nothing. That stuff's not good. We don't like it either.
That's absolutely fair. And he looks up, and your subtle digs. Your axe has the little totem thing on the bottom of it, right? This is the great sword. One of them has your little from a cord, right?
I thought that was like a neck choker thing.
Oh, you've got your neck choker thing. Okay,
yeah,
I forgot where you had it these days.
It was literally like a cord of cord. Like
Nice.
That's dangerous.
Dangerous. But he glances towards it and just like, yeah, if you've got to do if you're trying to arrange something for your day of challenging, and he makes that little subtle dig. Day of challenging is like the big holy day for Cord.
Yeah.
Kind of like end of winter, early spring, kind of renewal day, like let's fucking go kind of day. You've been through a few of those. If you're looking to arrange something for your day of challenging, that's entirely okay. If you're trying to make something to shield your mind,
Yeah.
What do you know about quaddles?
What now?
Quaddles.
Coidals?
Yeah.
Isn't that like intimate?
Not a lot. I'll roll to see what I know.
More than I care to admit. Oh,
Nailed it.
Nailed it. So yeah, go ahead and nature or religion.
Nature or religion?
Any of the gathered company can roll if you want to.
Oh, sure. Okay. Yeah. All right. Yeah, I got the nature stuff.
What is going on with my character sheet today?
12?
What is going on with your character sheet today? No, you're fine.
Yeah, I don't know. It's like it was not responsive. I'm gonna roll. Yeesh.
I'll say, I wonder why D&D Beyond is having problems today.
Can of worms.
15.
Learn more about that on our last meet at the inn. I wouldn't know anything about that. Okay. So at first he says Quaddle, and like you don't recognize it just by name. Then he starts to describe generally they're these flying rainbow snakes with all sorts of powers and abilities, generally good-natured, blah blah blah, and he starts going into this description, and you realize you came across 2 of them outside of Grimgleer on your way out to Hupperduke. You have that realization in your head as he's describing them. Those were those rainbow snakes that were kind of doing courtship dance, and one of them came down and like gave y'all a whole fucking like half a cart full of apples.
Oh yeah, I remember that now.
And and you have that thought, and as he's describing them, he's like, and he's describing them as like good-natured and protectors of nature and things, and then I heard reports that there were a couple of them out in the foothills south of Grimgleer, on the way out west, down the road a ways. A couple of them got spotted. Now, I wouldn't kill a Caudle, like never. That I would, and that's something that you'll find here if you decide you want to audition to join the take. We're not about killing creatures. Part of the job is killing creatures. We are about harvesting creatures. So if there is a contract that requires getting something from a creature that you don't have to kill them for, but there might be some danger involved, like trying to get a rock egg, it's or more often like griffin eggs. But with Quaddles, they very much have they very much have sentience. They are very they comprehend things, and if you were able to get one of their scales, maybe a few, depending on if you want, just in case something happens in the enchanting process, really. Get a couple of scales off of one of those, and you could probably integrate that into the crafting process, and it'll probably get you what you're looking for. Specifically, because you can't talk if they have the telepathic ability where they can talk to you, or they can not talk to you. And no matter what you try and beam over to them, if they are not welcoming, they will not hear you. So, very picky and choosy about who and what they associate with.
Would love to talk to them. A winged, multicolored serpent. I wish I knew I could talk to them back then. I would love to talk to them.
Back when?
Oh, that we saw them. I'm sorry, we saw them.
You saw them? Holy shit.
Oh, that's right. He wouldn't know that we saw them. We know that we saw them. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Oh, you're fine. You saw... Well... fuck me. By the way, if you see unique creatures like that, like that's valuable information to my organization.
It's good to know.
And that is one of the things that we will pay for. Just knowing where unique things are can help us with our interest. If you really want to find some of those brain creatures, they generally associate themselves with stronger things. They're kind of rats, really. They like to hide.
Okay.
And whether they're hiding, just scurrying around in little groups, or if they decide to jump into a body and take it over, and perhaps will take over a small herd of like wolves or something.
Wait a minute. I need you to be real clear with me here. Are we gonna have to chase them? I have a track record, and it's just not going to go well.
Oh no!
It wasn't me that time. It wasn't me that time.
Sounds deeply unfortunate.
Did it to himself.
Self-owned. No. They try and hide, but if you can bait them out and make them interested in you, they will lock onto you like you're a fresh piece of meat, and they will, if you make yourself very interesting, they will try and express their interest in you. Unfortunately,
I regret asking, but how does one make themselves bait for these things?
First and most basic step is be a thinking creature, and he gestures towards all four of you, technically, with little spearmint there. Be a thinking creature. Thinking creatures generally.
Deep. No, I'm kidding.
be a thinking creature, and that'll bring its own bait along with it. Oh no! Then the more deeply, if any of you have any gifts of your own in telepathy or anything, that's been becoming more.
Just great. This just
it will.
Sounds perfect.
It'll help. It'll help pull them from further away. If the stronger the mind, the more appetizing it seems to be for them. Really, truly, their name, intellect, and devourer. There's a reason that they have that moniker. So
I feel it's important to note now that I am nothing but grizzle and a little bit of muscle and skin. There is no marbling in these muscles.
It's about the mind, not the body.
Mine is smooth. It's not wrinkly at all. I'm smooth brain, you guys. Don't send me.
Smooth brain.
Brain.
Unfortunately, I just look at Slayer and say, well, unfortunately, I guess I'm the biggest bait.
You're the biggest bait.
Rude?
Huh.
Yeah, no, it's probable.
No, I don't think I've ever seen most people that have a tail like yours. I wasn't going to bring it up before. Most people that have a tail like yours, a body more like either a more common lizard or even more likely like a dragon head. What is your parentage?
Probably a little magic and a lot of
It's fair. Just you're very unique. You're very special kind of.
Second time today I've been told that. Thank you. You're
No,
unique too.
Unfortunately, I'm very common. But that's strangely beautiful. I don't think I've ever seen anything like you. I mean, and I mean that as a compliment, not derogatorily.
Thank you kindly. I was raised GIF. If you.
Okay.
So.
Heard of those. I don't know. I don't know that I've seen any, but I've heard of them.
They're really good with the stuff.
Oh, the brain stuff. Okay, that is really all I've heard about them. So if that's where you get it from, well done. Congratulations, I guess. Anyways, so end of the day, point is that
Drink water.
Oh, did we get a hydrate? Oh god.
Yeah.
Hail hydrate.
Hail hydrate.
I cannot be blamed for that one. I was watching Watch Miles Away. Watch Miles Away games on Twitch. And he has that as his hydration button is Hail Hydrate. 100%. That's amazing.
Two water bottles just going.
Oh yeah, no, he doesn't have nearly the block on it that I do. So like people just ping him all the time. He's just like fuck and then drink Hail Hydrate. He ran out the last stream I saw him on. Anyways, yeah, getting off topic again. What's that? So, oh yes, if you're looking for some of those, they have been seen a bit deeper in the mountains. There were reports of some Yeti in the Dunrock Mountains acting strangely, and people not coming back from trading with them, because I don't know if you know this about Yeti. They are actually intensely intelligent creatures. We found that out when we got a contract for some Yeti. Somebody tried to pull one over on us and just send us after a family of Yeti that were doing nothing but living in an area that somebody just wanted to clear out, and he politely canceled that contract and dealt with the person that tried to pull one over on us. So there have been talks of some Yeti becoming very, very beyond their normal wildness and becoming very unreasonable up in the Dunrocks. Excuse me. I want to say it was about 20 miles north of Grimgalir, if you start following the trails into the mountains. We don't have any contract on them, so it's not like I'm gonna pay you for it or offer to pay you for it, but some talk of weird mental things up there with those was suspicious of intellect devourers being involved. So maybe those. But with your goal, either you can look into those Yeti, or even more likely I don't know. Models are sneaky in their own way. They can become other creatures rather than stealing other creatures like intellect devourers do. They just become them. They can be very stealthy.
They become other creatures. That sounds so unnatural.
That's fair.
You say
but
that in character.
yes, he did.
Oh, 100%. 100%.
Just laying it on thick, aren't we?
Akira and Spearmint both office style look at the camera.
Just-
Together at the same time.
At the same exact time.
Yes, it is a little bit startling. Very often they will betray themselves a little bit, though, because their celestial nature kind of comes out. It seeps out of whatever they become, and you see a bit of that kind of rainbow sheen to their either fur or scales or feathers or whatever they happen to be. But they can be quite a number of things. Basically, any natural beast that you might be able to find in the forest.
We find the rainbow creatures so I can talk to them.
Oh gosh.
But that's up to you. What you do with information that is not my purview and not my contract is in fact not my problem, thankfully. But after you're done with what you're doing, we're always taking new members, and if you're especially good at slaying, he looks up towards Slayer again. Especially good at slaying or negotiating with a quaddle would be pretty impressive.
Akira's gonna give Slayer like the biggest anime eyes about going to look for the koala. They're gonna be big and sparkly.
Well, either one of those, actually, I would find pretty interesting. So, if you're interested, there's you never have to take a contract. One of the things with Slayers take, if you're a member, you're a member, and it's really can be quite lucrative. Also, extraordinarily dangerous, depending on what you're doing and where you're going. We have a branch here in Grimgalir, because the Dunrocks have quite a bit of things in it as well. It's close to Jorhas, but trying to get in there as an institution. Turns out, God, they are very mistrusting of outsiders, and considering the war that just went on this last year, I can understand why. But there's lots of things to harvest in Jorhas, so if you can get across the mountains and get to that side, things that are very lucrative over there. We have a branch in Taldore that's opened up in Amon. We have our original branch in our original base in Vasselheim, and so we have franchises, if you can call them that, throughout the world, and there's opportunity for travel and for safety in the different places where we are. So there's perks to joining. We don't have. We have several locations and spreading ourselves out, and there's no membership fees. Those get paid by the contracts that we bring in. We get a cut of we get a take, if you will, of the contract that gets brought in, but what is offered to the Slayers, if you will, is if it's on the contract, you're getting it. saying there's opportunities. But again, on the flip side, either bringing in intellect devourer brains would be impressive, or bringing in quaddle scales would be impressive, especially if I was certain that you didn't kill them. So
We're not gonna kill the quaddles.
Yeah, no, it seems like a bad idea.
Get to know a celestial creature sounds like that should be something that it could actually work in our favor.
Yeah, I mean,
totally plan on talking to them.
yeah, I mean, talking's nice and stuff. But I mean, those Yetis, those sound like a real challenge, yeah.
There's no reason we can't do both.
really is no reason you can't do both. Are you actually interested in doing that? More accurately, I guess more accurately, my question is, are you actually interested in perhaps auditioning for the Slayer's Take?
Auditioning, honey, we got this. Just Akira's just gonna look at Slayer like, maybe. But I mean, let's go beat up some Yeti.
I mean, you lot seem like good people. I'm just not sure how I feel about I guess the I don't know. I don't actually know how Slayer would feel about this.
Joining an organization
of like-minded individuals.
Yeah.
But like also, I guess what's limiting me is more above table knowledge, so I shouldn't think about that.
Oh yeah, don't think about your above table knowledge. You gotta leave that at the door.
Don't think about it. Just do it. No.
I mean, it was kind of mentioned through Alec that they're kind of like a Ioun based organization.
Oh,
right?
and you are chord based. This is correct.
Yeah, like
so it's a religious thing.
Yeah, kind of.
I get it. I understand now.
Well, if you're having qualms about it because of reasons, and he just kind of gestures towards his neck, because basically, like, you can tell that he's on the up and up with the law, and he's speaking very much as if he's on the up and up with the law, but there is nothing that he's saying. He is not saying Cord's name, because if you start talking about Cord and the Empire, like start saying stuff out loud, that might bring unwanted attention, and he doesn't know if your companions know you're an outlaw. You know what I mean? You're an outlaw. And so, if you're worried about joining multiple organizations, I mean, I'm fairly certain those that we serve also serve people that you're affiliated with. It seems there's no reason you can't have multiple avenues of blessings.
Just out of curiosity, how much of a I guess commitment is this organization looking for?
The commitment is more of, if you take a contract, that you're going to fulfill it.
So not necessarily that you have any kind of you have to accept as many if a contract comes in, you have to accept that kind of thing, but more just when you all walked in. When you all walked in, there are some of the more minor contracts that can just be, I could just hand them out, and the people who come through here and either pass through Grimgalir or reside here that want to be a
part of it, then I generally know what they can do, and I can kind of organize them. Or if they're an established group, I know what they can do, and I can be like, "Hey, you guys want this contract? I have this very specialized thing that I need." So like, yeah, you don't have to do things until you commit to them. Once you commit to them, they become your responsibility.
Understandable.
And it's not like you're blood oathed to get it done. And you're not gassed or compelled to get it done. If you take a contract, you fail it, specifically fail it on purpose, and basically stop someone else from completing the contract just by grabbing the contract in front of them, that reflects poorly on you, and that can kind of get you kicked out. But I mean, otherwise, it's just a matter of everybody getting richer, really.
Yeah. And so with that, he kind of just looks over at the other two and is like, well, I'm not opposed to some practice, you know.
But the reason I ask is we do tend to try to help people complete contracts. And especially, it seems, you mentioned others in your group. I assume that you have your own little squad.
Yeah, we're just passing through.
And either nailed it. I heard that. Whether you're randomly contracted together, or whether you're a group that we can call on for a contract, I'd like to make sure that you're equipped, and that would start with an audition. So if you are interested in auditioning, I can give you something that will help with your procuring of things. Because what use is hunting an intellect devourer if you can't get it back here fresh and able to be used for what you're trying to use it for. And
I suppose it makes sense. You need like jars and stuff with like pickling stuff, yeah.
Pickle it. I love it.
He stands up from his big armchair and walks over to a closet door kind of inset into the wall, and he opens it up, and there's kind of this sliding of wooden hangers on wooden dowel, and kind of slides a few around, and reaches in and pulls out a chest, and brings it over to his desk. It is clear. There's not a bunch of papers and stuff on it right now, but he brings it over to his desk and sets it down and opens it up. He unlatches it's just a flap latch, just does it and opens it up. This kind of mist comes off of the inside of it. Says, "This is a chest of preserving. While you have it closed, the magic's kind of infused into the wood. Make it so that things inside stay in a sort of stasis. Don't put a person in here. Don't put like there are people that are quite small. Don't put a person in here. It's not good. I've heard it is deeply uncomfortable, if not actually and actively harmful. So
you say this is a chest of preserving, is what you said?
As the chest of preserving, and this is what we would give you for your audition. If you are in fact inducted entirely, we would exchange this chest for a bag of holding that does very much the same thing.
Gotcha.
Oh, that seems quite useful, actually. Or I
I'll
can think of a
audition.
number of uses for that. Yeah, I think we could speak, and I kind of look to like Alec and Kyla. I think we could speak for the whole group when we say that. Yeah, we'd be interested in auditioning and joining.
Of course.
Well then, since you kind of have your own, I guess we'll call it your own contract, and trusting, and he gestures towards Alec, trusting one worshipper to another.
Alec just gives like a slight nod, you know.
I would say that I would take it under a special circumstance that rather than having you audition under a contract already existing, that y'all could audition with your own. So whenever you get it done, bring it back, show me evidence. We work on hard results here. And the trade-off is that normally there's money involved in the audition process, and we promise you money. So there's no money being promised with this. But
No, but this
a contract on the far side could be extraordinarily lucrative. We hunt fiends on this plane. We hunt all sorts of things.
Yeah, it sounds challenging.
So yeah, there's all sorts of monstrosities, awful, aberrant creatures, fiends. Like I said, dragons, elementals. We deal with all sorts of things. So plenty of challenges had.
It sounds like a very lucrative deal. Yeah, lucrative.
Lucrative, yeah.
That is the word for it, and he slides it forward towards you, Slayer, because, well, I mean, the other two don't look extra strong, and chest is a chest.
Yeah.
But in regards to these contracts and things of that nature, the people who are usually, the patrons of these contracts, where do they come from? Are they just people who want to pay to have something wiped out, or are they just looking to buy certain parts? Is that kind of what it is?
Well, I mean, you mentioned they don't do anything nefarious, so I mean, you assume it's all upstanding folks looking to go.
Not to question the integrity or anything like that. Just
not at all. That's actually a very good question. Most people don't question beyond the money, so I appreciate a thinking person. When it comes down to it, we try and vet our clients and their intentions. We consult with certain powers to try and vet their intentions, but the result is that of either clearing out an infestation of clear infestations of things that are particularly dangerous, things that can't be reasoned with. Those things exist, or getting very specific magical parts, generally for alchemists, for mages, or for people who are trying to make things, much like you're talking about. That's one of the reasons I know what you're going after, or know how to find things for what you're going after, because we deal with that. That's again why I asked the question. More of what you're trying to do rather than just like, where do I find a thing?
Gotcha.
No. More information. The more information we have on intent and result, the better we can suggest things that will give the end result. Luckily for us, our clients generally work in the multiple hundreds, multiple thousands of gold pieces, and we can promise that to whomever in the take is volunteering for it.
And thousands. That sounds like a big number.
It is a big number.
Well, Cass, do you mind if I call you Cass?
You can call me Cass.
No. And he kind of goes over to shake. He goes over to shake your hand. He says, "I have very much enjoyed talking with you and getting to understand more about what goes on here, and I appreciate you being so welcoming and forthcoming. I have a request because I foresee a profitable and fortuitous relationship with us going forward. I have a request that if anyone comes through and any contract comes through specifically for retrieving, there's a rare flower up on Mount Mentiri that is often used in medicinal purposes. If there's any contract that ever comes through for something like that, I'd appreciate it if you'd let me have it, and then I'd be happy to oblige, take care of it free of charge.
That is extraordinarily
Specific,
narrow.
I'm aware.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
It's
And he he says that like for a moment he's like pondering the implications, and then you said medicinal, and there's like a little bit of his like tenseness of it kind of drops. He all right, and he looks over, and his hand opens, and a mage hand kind of appears next to a drawer on the opposite wall, and it opens up, and a notepad with a kind of charcoal pencil on it kind of pulls over, and he starts writing down. It was Alec, was it?
Yeah, name is Alec Greenwall.
Greenwall, all right. And you can tell like there's lots of just random notes. A lot of them are scratched out, like basically like almost like a to-do list of a bunch of things.
Taken care of, check.
Yeah, check, scratch. And he flips a few pages in. Like Greenwall, Mount Mentiri, flower, question mark. All right. And then he just kind of puts a line beneath it like next item, and I will try to remember that, and more accurately my trusty notes will try and keep track of that. And he kind of basically hands it back into his own mage hand, and it floats back over.
And I know that it's not going to come up every single fortnight, but just if it does, I'd appreciate a heads up.
Absolutely. I guess more of a question is, are you looking for that flower specifically?
And he just kind of like has he kind of just looking straight at him. He says, "There's a debt that I will never be able to repay, but I will do everything in my power to work towards that. Let's just call it an act of self-penance."
Enough. Absolutely I can understand that. Just nods and kind of looks back towards the notepad again, almost like he's basically like almost like repeating your name. You can kind of tell like I need to remember this man's name.
Okay.
Got it, Alec Greenwall. We'll take that under advisement.
Well, I think me and my compatriots best be on our way, but it has been nothing but a pleasure to meet you, sir.
A likewise pleasure, Alec. Marin.
Hey.
Kira.
Pleasure.
Please take care of yourselves and don't die. I'd hate to hate to lose an investment of both my time and honestly, I kind of like y'all already.
Yeah, and this just seems like it'll be real handy. It'd be a shame to lose it. We'll make sure we get back to you.
Yeah, I mean, that is a monetary investment, but it's way cheaper than the holding bag version of it. So, you know, if it gets lost, it gets lost. And even if it gets somewhat, you know, beat up, smashed up, destroyed on your adventure, I mean, I wouldn't wish for that to happen, but if it does, it wouldn't be the end of things. You know what I mean? That's not a deal breaker.
Good to know.
Yeah, no, it'll definitely come in handy. It's a chest of preserving, so we can make jams, we can make jellies, anything with it, you know.
Clever kid. I like you.
I don't get it.
That is entirely okay.
I love it.
All right, well then, bidet.
Indeed. And it's
Damn it, Justice.
good. Good day to you. Almost like he didn't fully catch catch it. Thought you stumbled over it. And lets you all get back to your day. Now, back to the others.
The others.
To the
Luca,
others.
Luca, we're on.
You're on.
You're muted.
I'm here. I've been muted because I was working in the background.
I know.
I was doing some hardcore note rearranging work.
Walks out of the Slayer tag. Luca, Eldritch.
We're like nowhere near there.
On the opposite side of town, just...
We have a chest of berries and all the stuff we can make jams and jellies of.
Dude. It's a chest of berries and cream. Nailed it.
Nice.
Oh. Did you? I sent you something, Jeremy. Did you?
Yeah. So, as you watch some of the fighting going on, while yourself and your compatriots do a bit of the hard labor, if you will.
Yes.
Observing, you can tell some of the people who are acting as instructors of the fighting. A number of them dwarves, some not. They are, they're not only like they're not doing those who can't do teach kind of thing. It's those who can do teach better, and they're interacting like both one-on-one and one-on-group with these people under them, and look like some of them perhaps fresh back from the war with Jorhas, or the war with the dynasty, and these veterans of war who are trying to impart real knowledge to the up and comers, and you can tell that some of the instructors, whereas this is a Crownsguard barracks, these ones have a slightly more evolved heraldry on their accoutrement. Crownsguard just having kind of a crown symbol, and that of basically a visual representation of King Dwendal's crown. But these ones is there's the tiara, I guess, crown area of it, also like an owl with their wings out, the crown being held by one of the feet, and a blade being held by another one of the feet, and you actually recognize this. It is not merely a Crownsguard symbol, but a symbol of the righteous brand, and very particularly, it is a symbol that you have seen on the pommel of a very particular sword that now Brandor has, and unfortunately Brandor is not here, but you recognize that. It's a symbol of that person that was found out on the road.
Yeah.
Once upon a time. It all comes around, baby.
All circles back.
All circles back.
But I was kind of looking to see if someone was
instructors.
struggling.
You can tell these instructors have definitely they instead of town guard, they are army, and they are and they care about what they're doing. They care about what they're teaching. So some of it is big, heavy, like war weapons. Some of it is the more finessely kind of longer shorter sword, kind of back and forth, being able to defend yourself. Some of it is more archery, longer distance. Some of it's just more distant, kind of throwing blades. There's a lot going on here. Is there anything in particular that you're trying to glean off of all of this?
Yeah, I'm kind of hoping to find a recruit that's kind of like struggling or not really doing well with the combat.
Okay. So, go ahead and just have we'll have that be an insight, because gotta throw curveballs at you.
It may be my dump stat, but I have proficiency in it. That's a dirty 20, baby.
Nice. So, with that then. It didn't pop up over here. It could be my thing. I'll take it. So,
my roll 20 is just being mean. Sorry.
You're okay. It's fine. It's all good. So, kind of keeping your eye out. You see a few that are among those. That would be rolling a die. You see some that are kind of practicing between kind of the different kind of like throwing knife accoutrement. The very thin blade throwing knives. Like they're pretty good with the thin ones, but then there's like the thicker bladed actual like fighting daggers that also you can throw, hand axes that are even harder to really like get the weight of them down. Like they've not even moved on to like javelins and spears. The precision and strength needed to really huck those. But you see a couple of them that are basically side by side at this basically throwing stand area, and you can tell these guys are real basic, because like the rest of the range area there, it's just like board, no side walls, no protections, just boards, and then like there's the spot has a little lead up to it, probably about 5 to 10 feet of wall, like around the area of the target, and it's totally caged in, so they're anticipating the people at this stand like totally fucking up a throw and it having to ricochet, and like instead of having to go and fetch it from fucking 10 feet away after it bounces off, it just ding in this area, and they could just pick it up off the ground or off of one of the walls where it sticks into. You see these two people at the stand. One of them, unsurprisingly, a dwarf. The other one, a gnome, and the gnome's kind of stepped up like at the back of this table, on a stool, so that they can see over the table, and they're kind of alternating between blades that they're using and trying to hurl. And
Okay. I'm going to kind of like saunter, I guess would be the, like, not the best word, but the most appropriate word I can find for it, over there. Is there an instructor directly with them too at the moment?
Not directly.
Okay.
Their instructor's kind of walking down the line away from them currently, and just kind of coaching others. When you saw like their instructor did like stand with them and try and coach them. He's got like a squad of 10 guys or 10 people that he's working with. So there's only so much one-on-one coaching you can do in this scenario right now.
So yeah, with that, I'm going to kind of come over there, standing about maybe 5 feet behind the two of them. I'm going to summon my echo in front of the target, just to start with, and then how they react will affect how I respond.
So first off, are you trying to surprise them from just walking up on them?
No, not trying to surprise them.
Okay.
Not trying to scare them or anything.
Okay, so you walk up, and there's that moment where like they just kind of glance up and notice that you're there, and kind of get back to it because they don't know you from God, and then the gnome goes to like pull back to throw, and your echo shows up, and they and like open their hand in surprise, and the hand axe just like falls behind them, like as they're like in the mid throw, and then like let it go, and it like drops a bit and like falls and flops and some of the stuff.
Prime version of me.
The dwarf kind of turns and he glances at you but then he's surprised because like you appeared there, so he assumed that like he saw you and that you magically like teleported in front of them. He sees you, Prime, then he looks back. Are you two still there?
So at this point, going to kind of Prime me is going to pick up the battle axe, hand it back to the gnome, and I'm going to say, or just kind of like in like a very like teacherly, like paternal kind of voice, like, one tip that may help you here is to not throw stronger or weaker each time. Throw with the same amount of strength. Your best bet for affecting whether it'll hit will be how far you are from the person, because if you can get used to the muscle memory of how you throw it, it'll help with actually throwing it. You just have to determine how far away you need to be, like this. And then I'll roll to attack. I'm going to throw one of my hand axes at my echo.
Okay, you're gonna go ahead and murder yourself from a different timeline. Cool, we love it. Yeah. Go ahead and if you were a Echo Knight, would you attack yourself?
Here's hoping this rolls well, because I'm going to look like a dick if it doesn't. I'm going to throw my Fey Luck on that.
Oh, sure.
Because I can do that. Let's roll that D4. Here's hoping for a 4, baby. That'll do it. That's enough to do it.
All right. So, I was gonna say you could you could try and cause him to have disadvantage just by fucking move, bud. But I'll take it. So you here, let me show you. And you throw it, and naturally yourself goes to draw their greatsword and try and block it, but you kind of focus your luck a little bit, and the sword comes around and they swing too fast and swing it out of swing in front of where you're throwing it, and the axe just hits, and you hear it hit, and then that little dispersal of energy just as it disappears, and your axe falls to the ground, and both of them look back towards you after it hits and disappears, and what the fuck? That actually hit was that real? Oh,
I'm gonna resummon it right next to me, and I'm just gonna say it's very real. And know, whenever you let go of that weapon, you're not calling it back. It is very real when you throw it. So if you throw it, you better have the confidence of God that you're going to hit your mark. So let's try again, shall we? And I'm going to walk forward, grab my hand axe, and walk back and say, keep at it.
And, well, in that case, I get some die. We'll throw some dice. Why not? You just gave them some. We'll say you took the help action just there. So, the dwarf is going to try first. We're just going to throw a d20. He throws a hand axe, and it hits the target, but it hits with kind of the back top of the wood and just kind of bounces off. The gnome, though, the one you were addressing, kind of has that moment where he's holding it and just all right, the axe, the of God, and just as he starts to say God, he's God, and throws it, and it boom, dead on. So he's oh God! And
I'm gonna high five the little guy.
Yeah, will of God! And you come around and high five him, and as he shouts that, the instructor, this very lithe half elf, built, broad shoulders, bearing a you would define their armor as half plate,
Nice.
and with the righteous brand symbol etched into their armor, well cared for, and she starts walking over. So, excuse me, who are you? And you? She sees the
Both
two,
my
the
head's
two of you there.
turned to look at her. My snake sits up a little. Oh, I'm Eridrin. I saw that these two could use a little help, so I thought I'd help out where I can.
Richard, who the fuck do you think you are, walking onto a training field? I know you. Do any of us? Anybody know this guy?
I think, ma'am, if you'd notice, I'm actually kind of helpful, and I'm going to point to the target.
He looks over. Go ahead and make a persuasion check.
Oh.
I'm gonna have Luca start approaching at this time, just in case Eridrin needs a hand.
That's not the best, but it's a 13.
Hey, it's better than a kick in the crotch.
Yeah.
But yeah, like she's kind of looking over. You're a little bit taller than she is, but he's pretty broad-shouldered for a lady. She's worked hard for those gains. And she's looking up at you like she knows a thing or two about a thing or two, and then looks over towards the target. Has a like this, like it's that little micro expression where like you're trying to have a hard face, but she sees that like it worked. She just like that little smirk. It's like, did, huh? And then seeing Luca walking over, she has the moment of like, and who the
That's my compatriot.
well, hello, compatriot.
Hello.
Drink water.
Is
Water.
everything okay over here? Did something go wrong?
Well, no, it seems that something went kind of right.
Can I make an insight check on that?
Yes, you can.
I'm a little afraid. Not gonna lie. Zing. I rolled very poorly. My passive insight is 17.
Oh, that's fair. No, that's fair. You know, trying to read any deeper than the surface might be a little bit hard. You're not sure exactly the entire rest of the connotation, because you just heard the kerfluffle and they were talking kind of quietly. But what is extremely easy to read is you walking up made her little half-elven heart kind of jump a little.
Oh.
And she turns towards you and is Captain Youngquist. She did not shake Eridrin's hand. She is reaching out to shake your hand though.
Can I get a spelling for that? I want to get that name down.
Young like the philosopher, Quist, Jungquist. That's her last name.
And she's a captain?
She is a captain.
Can I, as she's reaching out, just like to be slightly a dick, just like put my echo between the two of them and like shake her hand and say, it's great to meet you.
Yes, you can, because she was not ready for that. And you just kind of your echo blinks basically from whoa, whoa, and puts his hand in her hand, and you've hands with your own echo. It is like shaking cold shadow. That's solid. And so like she reaches out her hand and your echo shakes her hand, and there's that moment where she's like, what the fuck is that? It snaps her out of that like baby kind of heart flutter moment, and just like what the she like takes a second and looks at it, looks at you, looks at him, looks at you too, and looks back at you, Eridrin. Did you learn how to do that, Eridrin?
Luca kind of just has one hand up to his mouth and just chuckles to himself.
Now that you're willing to acknowledge that I have some skill, I guess I can tell you, I learned it on my own. You see,
Your
just
own,
because I
huh?
don't wear your pretty little owl and your pretty little crown doesn't mean I don't know how to fight.
No,
So
we don't
maybe
need.
trust people when they decide to help you.
No one needs to be condescending. My friend here must feel insulted.
Indeed. And she kind of, again, kind of looking like she's looking at somebody attractive, that she finds attractive, kind of, pulls her head down a little bit and kind of scratches her eyebrow. And I ask that because I've seen it before,
Oh.
Mr. Eredrin.
Well, it just so happens that my friend Arajan here has been a lifelong citizen of Grimgalair.
Gonna shoot like Luca like a little eye, like just a tiny little eye, like dude.
No, that's the safest thing that could be said about you for the moment.
No, I agree. I completely agree. But at the same time, it's like, oh, okay, that we're going with this route. Okay.
Yep. Oh yeah. Honesty is the best policy in most cases, especially when it comes to the guards. But it's no secret that you live here. So
Yeah. No. It's not. Yeah. No.
yeah. It's,
So,
And I am going to apologize.
I'm not saying that his particular ability is the one that you've seen before. I just mean that when it comes to my friend as a person, this is his hometown. This is where he lives.
And Captain Youngcrest, I do want to apologize. I feel like we may have started off on a bit of the wrong foot. I can be defensive at times.
that is fair. So can I.
So
The
shall we
reason-
start again?
The reason I ask is I mean, thank you for giving a positive word to Geckham here. His blades have been bouncing off of targets all day. It's actually quite a bit of a good word you must have given him. The reason for me is I've seen things like this down in the Ashgard garrison when it got taken over by Kryn.
By what?
Like Quinn?
By Kryn, by those from the eastern side of the mountains. Do you not know of the Kryn dynasty?
Do I? That's a good question.
And roll a history check.
I will.
And I
I'm not
also
good at
roll one to
this,
see if
but
I
I'll
know.
roll.
Yes, absolutely. Yes, each of you can roll your own.
I didn't roll terrible.
Wait,
Did
it
not
was-
roll terrible. Yes, his story.
Okay, I'm good at his story.
Indeed. So for Luca's part, you would know pretty well, especially being from down south, because the accord that was signed between the Dwendalian Empire and the Kryn Dynasty happened off of the coast of Nicodranus, out in the water, and like was particularly a big deal because when it happened, the Kryn brought some sort of item that made this dome of darkness on the horizon, where it shaded where their ships were. It made it so that and what you know is that not everyone in Jorhas is like a dark elf or drow or people who are sunlight sensitive. The leadership is,
Ah.
The leadership is a person known as the Bright Queen, ironically. Specifically, her name is Laylis Kryn.
Bright Queen, Dark Elf.
Yes, their queen is a dark elf, and there's a fairly significant dark elf population, and like Dwagar population, and people who are the kobolds and things that don't love sunlight. A lot of them live in at least a capital, which is assumedly where this magical item came from. But for you, Eredrin, you would know that you would know even more about the war, specifically how wild it was. Like you helped make blades for this war. You helped make a number of blades for this war. A lot of your stuff went down to the Rockguard garrison, the closer one. Ashguard garrison being on the far side of the mountain mesa there, east of Blade Garden. Very hard mountains over there, but yeah, and the Kryn forces made it past the Ashguard garrison into Blade Garden. There were significant worries that they would come around the backside of the Rockguard garrison, that they'd make it up to Grimglir, make it up to Hupperduke. They popped it, like some wild shit happened where like a hole opened up under Felderwin, and there was a whole ass fucking like surprise attack in Felderwin. All places, this it's basically like the breadbasket of the Empire. Like they it's just a bunch of farms and shit, and they went for the fucking neck on there, trying to affect the situation.
So if this like a treatise signing thing took place outside of Nicodranus, how long ago was that exactly?
So it is Soulstar.
I'm sorry.
Well, I'm looking at the time, the month. The month of Soulstar is where we are, and making sure I'm not missing anything. Okay. I just realized it was after 3 o'clock. I'm like, did I miss any? We've got to go, and I did miss a couple of people having to pop out. But if I'm not mistaken, it was really only like a month or two ago, a little more than a month, a little less than 2 months ago, that they signed. They signed this agreement. It was just a little bit before you left town.
Oh, so it happened before I left. Like I might have been able to witness this darkness on the horizon, kind of thing.
That's why you knew what you knew what you knew, especially because like okay. you got to see it. There was celebration. There was a whole ass detail of Dwendalian. It looked almost like a Dwendalian occupation force that came into town. They were welcomed by the Marquis because they were there to board a ship in the harbor to actually take King Dwendal himself, several of his delegation out to sea to go and have this final peace talk, final treaty signing.
All right, so Luca has a response then. Luca would just nod and, yes, I actually saw the sphere of darkness over the water that they had during the treatise signing. I was in Nicodranus at the time.
I forged many of the blades that were used by the Empire in response to that.
Oh yes. In town, Arajan works with the local blacksmith. Helped create weapons for that very war, actually.
Huh.
I
You
wasn't
kinda
sure before the war, but here we are.
Which also explains why he knows his way around the weight of a thrown weapon.
Indeed. And her expression kind of softens. You know, when you see an enemy force running towards you, and then all of a sudden they multiply.
That would be terrifying.
Sometimes more than just one. The same person coming at you from all sides.
Well, I can assure you that either fortunately or unfortunately, such magics and abilities are not exclusively unique to the Kryn.
And your
That's the
evidence is here.
It's the first I've ever seen it. Not running at me on a battlefield.
Then I apologize if I alarmed you with that.
For example, he actually used it to help unload some boxes just a little bit ago.
Yes, I did.
It's quite a useful talent.
Indeed.
You could actually maybe learn it if you tried.
I don't know about all that. I'm more of a. I've done a bit of focus in tactics and things, and maneuvering people about.
Consider the tactics when you don't have to maneuver someone else. You can just maneuver an extension of yourself.
You seem like
a captain does maneuver extensions of themselves. Thus is the crux of leadership.
You sound like you know a thing or two about a thing or two, Mr.
He has not given his name yet.
And that's why she kind of crosses her arms and just, Mr. I'm sorry, what was it again?
Oh, I'm sorry. You can call me Luca, and he will actually hold out his hand to shake.
Luca, and yeah, like this time waiting for a hand to shake. Definitely not actually not throwing shade eyes towards Akira this time, or not Akira, Eredrin. But then waiting for your arm to come out, and she shakes, and you sound like you have some fun stories to tell.
Oh, only the ones that I learned, of course. I'm a graduate from Clearmouth in the Menagerie Coast.
And in Nicodranus way.
Yes.
Oh. And,
yes, we studied, of course, we studied language arts, literature, and rhetoric. So the aspects of leadership are not something that I'm without, and I can definitely recognize them when I see them.
Well, I've got people to get back to. I don't suppose you're doing anything for dinner this evening?
Unfortunately, tonight we have plans. We're trying to enchant a weapon tonight. Should be interesting.
Oh, I mean, that's multiple day-long process. I mean, unless you've learned ways of doing. But you're gonna be late doing that. How late do you think that'll take you?
Honestly, I'm not entirely sure. I'm still just apprenticing when it comes to enchantments. I've been learning a lot from Fisher. Silverfist? Fisher Silverfist?
Shimmerfist.
Luca would not have gotten that wrong. I totally just...
Yeah, you're fine.
I don't have the notes right there. Just
said Silverfist at some point.
Silverfist is cool, but yes,
yeah, whatever.
I had the opportunity to speak with him to learn, and so we're giving it a shot. But since I'm still learning, I don't know how long it's going to take.
At this point, I'm going to draw my bow. I'm going to say it'll be this piece right here.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow. And she kind of waits to see if you like offer it forward before
I
trying
will.
to like reach for it.
I will. Yeah.
And she'll nod politely toward you, toward you, and to take it, and kind of holds it, and it, like you know how heavy this is as bows go, and she just kind of like feels the weight of it, kind of stretches it out, just kind of mind if I give it a dry fire?
Oh, you never dry fire a bow, and I hand her an arrow.
Oh, fantastic! And you hand her an arrow, and she draws hard.
Does she have a strength of 16?
I made sure.
So as she does this, Luca kind of folds his arms and just leans over and kind of nudges Eredrin's shoulder, and just this ought to be interesting. That's a fantastic piece you've made there, and well, she looks fit to use it, and I'm going to actually give her bardic inspiration.
Okay.
I'm going to give her bardic inspiration for the shot.
Oh wait! It wasn't a D6. It's a D8. It's D8.
Yes.
And
Okay, there it is.
Just to kind of add to it, right before she shoots at the target, I'm going to yet again put my echo in the way.
You're gonna put your echo in the way? Okay.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
So
I have a point to prove with this. I have a point to prove.
All right. So as she draws and aims, as you basically know like the timing of how this moves, and so as you see her hand start to let go, you manifest your echo right there, and it fires off and then shoots straight through the chest. Like it manifests and then shatters immediately, and then flies directly into, and like the arrowhead is all the way into the target.
Damn.
Because your shit fires strong.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
And she sees like just the shaft of the arrow just kind of vibrating hard. She's, holy fuck.
That's a piece, isn't it?
I mean, it took my arm off firing it. She hands it over towards you.
It's not for everyone. That's
You definitely
for sure.
have to be strong to use it. I based it off my father's design, and as you saw, my friend,
It's like-
and I'm going to resummon
It's
my
like a
echo.
horse.
Oh, it does. I'm going to resummon my echo, and as you saw, you shot right through my friend, or
I've
myself, actually.
I've cut through quite a few of those, in fact.
You know they're not too terribly hard to kill. They're good for what they do. And I'm going to have him pull the arrow out and return the arrow to me.
Just roll a d20. 10 or better, it doesn't snap.
Okay. So it's a death save for the arrow.
Yeah, basically a single death save for the arrow.
It survives. It was an 8.
Yeah, you pull out, and your echo has a moment where like kind of like tries to pull it, realizes that it's gonna snap, and just kind of does a little wiggle with it for a second and pops it free. It is handy.
It is.
I might have an opinion on that, but I guess it is handy. Well, Master Bertrand, Master Luca, you find yourselves around the barracks this evening at some point. You two are fairly interesting.
Thank you.
I suppose if you wanted to share a meal together, you could find some time to swap more stories. I really do. And she kind of like actually extends the bow arm and just kind of like does a little elbow pop. I do need to get back to my my recruits. Hope we can talk again soon.
I hope so. I think that would be nice.
So do I. Good to meet you.
Pleasure was
I'm
all
going
mine.
to turn back to the dwarf recruit because it hit with the butt of the handle. I'm going to say, if you back up maybe about a step, it should go better next time.
And giving him that help action. Let's just roll to the d20 show. Oh yeah. He takes a step back and
God damn.
and like nails right where the arrow got pulled out of. With the axe, he's like,
I'll
yes.
give him a high five from both of me when it comes to that.
And Captain Youngquist turns and puts a hand on his shoulder and is just like, "You kid, I told you could do it. Just focus. He's like, "Yeah, focus." And and the gnome is like, call on God, and so they start going back into it. I'm missing every one of them, but as y'all kind of your attentions go back towards the cart, it looks like the carts both are beginning to be like the back wooden tailgate and kind of pulled up and latches and posts and things put into proper places to start securing things. The Three Stooges, I'll call them, climbing back in and securing their tarp and everything. And you see walking around the side of the car, the rear cart, Breaker having a quick conversation with Atheist, and you kind of hear his deep tone. Yeah, they're right over there. They're very curious about some stuff. Very curious about some stuff. And Atheist currently cloak pulled all the way back. You see the very clean line between the black draconic side and the pale white tiefling side. And he you can tell there's like this little bit of frustration on his face from what he was doing, but then kind of hearing that y'all are here and y'all are right over there, like he kind of shakes his head and tries to shake it off and put back on some of his more pleasant self and coming back down the way, because kind of all these things happening kind of simultaneously. Those who are still here at the table, y'all start walking back down the way, and see this courtyard. Your boy Breaker. He's almost as tall as Slayer, not quite as tall as Slayer, but he stands out even from a distance. The carts kind of stand out from a distance. Y'all see the carts. Y'all see the people together and see your own teammates.
And I'm not exactly nondescript either.
Or not exactly nondescript.
Nor is the Kira.
Or is it Kira?
Is that our stopping point before we approach?
I was gonna say, as Atheist is starting to approach the two of you that he knows are there, the others beginning to walk up the way. We can cut it off today. We can cut that off there, so we can get back into it next week. Times. Good solid long session today, y'all. Again with the RP day.
Yes.
Yeah.
Love a good RP.
If you can't tell, like I'm actually more used to like the combat stuff and trying to find new and exciting ways to make sure that those don't get too bogged down.
Well, I mean, that's one of the benefits of this.
It's...
One of the benefits of this group is that we've got some people here that are, in my opinion, excellent role players, and the longer we know each other, the better we get at this.
Yeah, for sure.
That's a wonderful thing about TTRPGs. The longer you know each other, the better you get with your inter-character roleplay. And so I think today was really fun for that.
I am enjoying
I agree.
Oh, as always, thank all of you for showing up, both player and viewer alike. We appreciate it. It means everything.
Apologize for the family call that came in, but it was quite important. So sorry I had to step away.
You're okay. Okay, we cut away from all your scene. Like you're fine. Like not a problemo. So, but point is, thank you for showing up. Thank you for showing up for us over on the Patreon / Once Upon a D20, showing up on the TikToks / at Once Upon a D20, showing up here. Eventually, I'm going to try and see if I can get Twitch to change my accounts between my Once Upon a D20 account and this one, because I formed the other one way too late. Point is, thanks for being here. Until next time, please remember that kindness really is free. And please, please, please keep going.
And don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, follow, hit the bell, do all the things. Do your social media.
Things. Yeah.